Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for our continuous discussion on Nectar of Devotion. So today we are at this ninth chapter, chapter 9. Further consideration of devotional principle. All right, what are the further consideration? So as you all know that we are all doing doing detailed studies. We are going so much in detail and try to grasp, in fact, this morning I was listening to Bhakti Vikas Maharaj class, and there also he insisted that many devotees have studied Nectar of Devotion quite some time back, and after years, so he's encouraging, he's starting back Nectar of Devotion classes, and he encouraged that this book has to be kept as our guidebook. That's the book that we should read in a very often, because this is how we can achieve the highest success in devotional service. All right. So before we start our program, let's do our invocation. We seek blessings from our spiritual master and all our preceptors. Without their causeless mercy, we are not here. And because of their causeless mercy, we are here and try to relish and go dive deep into this, the nectarian ocean of devotional service. So let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidam Cha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasachari Starine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devidaitai Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Viknanadayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namustute Namaste Gauramani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruda Pasidanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Pujaite Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhava Bhume Stum Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannathayate Namaha Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Paditaram Pavinibhya Vaishnavebhayo Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Vadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hari Om Tat Sat Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastha Bhutale Shrimati Jai Pataka Swami Tinamani Namacharya Padaya Nita Kripa Pradayani Gorakata Damadai Nagar Grama Tarini Hare Krishna. So we are talking about further consideration of devotional service. So we have spoke about blaspheme. All right, what is blaspheme? How dangerous is being blaspheme? So we understand that blaspheme means to deride a devotee, to deride a devotee, and also to what they call to question his integrity, and to humiliate him, or some or other to tarnish his name. All these things are happening, and all this character of the blaspheming is happening when we are in envious state. Tamil la sonna vaitharichal. All right, in envious stage that we are trying to we try to show our envy. Envy is actually not a good thing. For envy, it is it's a quite kind of a dangerous character, being envious. All right. So being envious means is a situation where people hate that person to the core and willing to do anything to destroy him. All right. Like typically in this modern, so-called modern stage, what they'll do, they like to go and look for a bomber and do G Boomba. boom. All right. Where on alito, kudumotor alito, so something like that, right? So that's very bad. And when a person we blaspheme means we have so much of enviousness in our heart, and through that envy, we tend to destroy everything. Even in our modern life, being envious is not an ordinary thing, right? Being envious, it is also definitely you're not going to have a peaceful life being an envious person, and of course you're not going to put others in happiness. Then secondly, we also spoke about tilak and tulsi beads, that every devotee must have tilak, around their body. So there's few things. When we have a tilak means, that means we are identifying ourselves as a servant of the Lord. The tilak means what? If you see the two lines here, is actually the lotus feet of Krishna, and the thing that in the middle is tulsi. So we are putting the feet of the Lord on our 12th part of body. All right, what are the advantage? One is Yamaraj instructed Yamadutas not to approach person who got tilak. And secondly, wherever the person goes, they sanctify or purify that situation person. You know why? Wherever we go, people start to say Hare Krishna guy is here, Hare Krishna. So when everybody start to chant Hare Krishna, that situation becomes purified, right? Like yesterday, one of my wife's relative, what they call, this thing, she passed away. And we went, my wife and I went with full tilak and all these things. So everybody was singing song, they were all lamenting. But when we walked in, everybody was like, kept quiet. For sometimes for a devotee, we look like, 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 what do you call? Sometimes we look like zombie or what. Jam all like, oh, who's this guy? So everybody came, and I heard people are whispering, Hare Krishna guys here, Hare Krishna. Oh, this guy, Hare Krishna. So end up everybody start to chant Hare Krishna. So that's the idea. So wherever we go, we purify and sanctify the place, because when they look at us, they identify us as Hare Krishnas, and they are indirectly, mentally, and or by utterance, they start to chant the holy name, right? And of course, another thing is, of course, wearing the tilak. I mean, what they call the tulsi beads, the neck beads around your neck or around your breast, like having this kind of thing. Sometimes we can even put it long. It is very, very important. All right, because Tulsi Maharani is the pure devotee of the Lord. When we are putting our Tulsi Mala, Tulsi garland, I mean, Tulsi beads around our neck, so that shows that we are taking the protection from Mother Tulsi, that protect us from all kind of impediment. And of course, secondly, also to remind you, I'm having a Tulsi neck beads around my neck, so that we should behave ourselves. At the same time, those who are having Tulsi Mala, they also will not be visited. You don't see that Yamadutas come and this thing, okay? And of course, it's all auspicious. Even keeping a Tulsi in your house, it solves your Vastu problem. You're worshipping the Tulsi, as I said. If you have a Tulsi, before you leave the house, go around 3 times. If you come back from anywhere, you just go around Tulsi 3 times and just pay obeisance and go. Because she is the most supremely beloved of Krishna. And she is the secretary of Krishna in Goloka, Vrindavan. Even Goloka, Vrindavan. Vrindavan means Tulsi Devi. So that means she's in charge of that spiritual world. She's the personified in charge of the spiritual world. She makes sure that Krishna and Radha were having very comfortable situation, and she, like a secretary, she creates that the situation. She's the greatest servitor. When Tulsi and when Radha and Krishna wants to meet, Tulsi arranged the place. All right. But the one who arranges, the one who creates that environment, of course, is Yogamaya, Subhadra. All right, Yogamaya. There's another story. So when we are, so that Tulsi Maharani was so graceful. She came in the form of a plant, where you can simply put in a small pot, big pot, or whatever. Even you can just take one bottle and put some soil and put inside, Tulsi still will grow. She came in the most sublime way that a person will have no excuses of not worshipping her. She didn't come in the form of huge banyan tree. We can't plant banyan tree in our house, right? Banyan tree so she didn't come in that way. She came in a very humble, soft form, in the form of Tulasi. And she produces the leaf and says, take the leaf and offer to Krishna. She provides you, she gives you the opportunity to serve the Lord. Similarly, if you see the mala, after the she dies, the thing don't like, it doesn't get spoiled. It still remain as a beads forever. All right. So Tulasi, as long as she lives, she bless, and after she leaves, the wood and sticks and everything is very blessing. So that's why. And of course, then another thing is accepting flower garland. All right. So sometimes when we receive a flower garland offering from Krishna, we should put it. We should wear it on our neck. Right. So it's not like sometimes we see like, when people put a flower garland, they take it, put for a while, and they take it and put it in your hand. That's not the idea. The idea is to put it around your neck. It's very auspicious. And of course, then also we went and think about dancing before the deity, how important to dance before the deity. And I give some idea, some analysis. When we dance like a deity, just when you clap, all the what they call the birds fly away. Similarly, all the sins in our body, all anarthas, all unwanted things will simply fly away when we dance in front of the deity. And of course, the deity loves to see you dancing, right? When you see, sometimes when we go, sometimes we like to go to see Bharatanatyam dance. Sometimes like in Taipusam, even though we see these guys are dancing like a mad fleur with the music, the Kavadi, but even how much we have also, when we see them dancing, we will get excited. But you say, hey, that is nonsense, that's wrong. Look at the hooligans. Now, hooligan mari running, it's okay. But still, when we see people dancing, we get attracted. Similarly, that is how we attract the God. Even the kings love to see, for themselves. Everybody loves to see someone dancing. Similarly, the Lord wants to see you dancing. When the Lord sees you dancing, even how old or how young, your dancing means your expression. When you dance, when you want to express your love, you can't dance simply. When you are in expressive mood, so you dance. Okay. Then bowing down in honor to the deity. Whenever we see the deity, we should bow down. All right. We should bow down and right? We should bow down when we see the deity. Immediately we have to bow down. That's why Krishna says, Man mana bhavamat bhakto mat yajimam namaskuru mam evasya shuktayam atmana mat parayana. Man mana bhavamat bhakto mat yajimam namaskuru. So always think of me, always remember me, and pay obeisances to me. Being absorbed in me, you will come to me. So pay obeisances means what? Krishna wants you to pay obeisances. Who do we pay obeisances? To someone that we have so much of respect, right? When someone comes and fall at your feet, doesn't matter how much, even an enemy, whoever it is, sometimes no matter what, you will melt. Yes or not? Sometimes when you see, okay, give you one example. All right, what example? Okay, I'll give you one real life example. There's one particular person. He got a very bad character, very bad attitude. And of course, he's my relative. So everybody like to say, this guy is totally out, like his character is out. But he got one good habit. Whenever he comes, before he leaves the house, he always like to offer obeisances to the elders, like my mother, my aunt, whoever it is, he like to ulundu kumran. So when he start to offer obeisances, he don't simply obey, he just like do dandavat. He always believes the blessings of elderly. Of course, he's an atheist, of course. But he has that habit of whenever elderly people must bless, he call all the children, everybody, all pay dandavat. Not ordinary obeisances, full உழுந்துருவாங்க. So அந்த மாதிரி நடக்கும்போது, what happened? My mother, my perima, chinama, even like myself, when I see that, when the person offer obeisances, doesn't matter what is his intention, but the heart will melt. Heart will melt, right? Then after blessings, then you'll go. I remember my auntie, my uncle, perima, my mother also. Attitude தான் சரியில்லை, ஆனா நல்ல பையன். The heart will melt. Similarly, when we offer obeisances to the Lord, you melt the Lord's heart. All right? You melt his heart. Oh yes, this person is really deceived. Okay, that's very important. And another thing we also studied last week is standing up to receive the Lord. Whenever we see the Lord, when the Lord is coming, we immediately have to get up and receive him. All right, we shouldn't like sit and oh, Krishna is coming. Okay, not that way. When you see the person, you have to get up. Sometimes when you see the king comes in, or you have to get up and offer your respect. At the same time, follow the rhythm. Sometimes when the rhythm goes, like some people like to pull the rhythm in front, right? And they'll be dancing, and some people will be following at the back. So it doesn't matter whether you hold the Radha Yatra with the rope, or you're at the back, you're holding the chariot and walk. Now you see all the rhythm. People like to walk at the back and hold the rhythm and walk along. So that is very important. That's called under the following deity. All right. So today we're going to continue our discussion on the next topic. That is, we also spoke about Chaturmasya. All right. We're also going to the temple of Vishnu and place of pilgrimage. We also have discussed that. The place of pilgrimage is the place where when we go there, we get relief from all the sinful reaction. But of course, to go to the place of pilgrimage, one thing is to see the Lord. Second is, of course, to associate with the pure devotees. If you simply go to the place of pilgrimage and don't associate with the devotees, it's simply a place of pilgrimage of the crows. Kaka Tirtham. Kaka Tirtha. Kaka Punya Payana. What they call it in Tamil? Kaka Tirtham, something like that. All right. It is a place of pilgrimage to the crows. So our idea is going to the holy place to learn. First is to see the Lord, and second, of course, to associate with the devotees. That's why sometimes when you go to India, especially when you want to go and visit these kind of holy places, I suggest not to hire tour guide. Right? We are not trying to go there and see things. We go there and try to associate with devotees. Right? So sometimes when you go to Vrindavan, the best thing is go to Vrindavan, go to the temple, Krishna Balaram temple. After you go there, then you go there, listen to the class, attend the program, attend the kirtan. Then after that, you hire someone. There, the temple itself, they are providing. All right, they're providing this tour, and you can ask them. So what's the tour? So the devotees will take you. Okay, why not we go for Govardhan Parikram? Okay, can you walk? No, I cannot walk. That means we go on an auto. Right? You drive around Govardhan. Oh, you can walk? Just walk. You know, talking about that, it reminds me about one story. A Russian lady, she had some kind of knee problem or some kind of heart problem or something like that. And the doctor says, once you do the surgery, whatever, you will go into paralysis. And after that, most likely you cannot walk. I think they're going to amputate the leg or something like that. I can't recall the story. So they give her time. So she thought, okay, since the time is given, after that, I can't walk. So what she did, she started to go on parikram. People say, no, it doesn't matter. After that, I can't even think about it rest of my life. Kastama, let me go for parikram. And she went on parikram, one round. Then after that, she felt so good. Next day, she did again. I think one whole round can take the whole day, I think around 8-9 hours or something like that. I'm not sure. I have not been. Anyone have been to parikram, Govardhan parikram? Anyone? Chana Lakshmi Mataji, have you been? Gandhi Mataji?
Yeah, I've been, Prabhu.
So how long will you take to go around?
Yeah, about 8-9 hours. Yeah. Parikram.
By foot, that means by walking.
Yes, by walking.
If you take auto means?
I don't know about auto. We didn't take auto. We walked.
It's such a big round, right?
Yes, it is a very big round. I don't know where we started and where we ended.
Oh, okay. So that Mataji, she went around. She went around and round and round. So when one round, the next day, she did again. She said, since I can't do it rest of my life, I do it again. Then the next day, she did again. Other devotees were like, date. They say, oh, so tired, the leg is running. He said, I don't care. After this, I'm going to die. I'm going to be invalid. I can't do it anymore. She did again. You know, she did that continuously for what? 5 days, every day, Govardhan. Every day she go on. Then after that, she went then she went and went to the clinic and went to the thing to check in and of course to do that surgery or what. To the doctor's amazement, he found out whatever condition that she had, all were cured. And the doctor can't believe it. He went and checked all the things because the doctor was surprised or shocked that maybe he thought maybe I gave a wrong what they call what is the word? Investigation, a wrong what is the word the doctors will do? Wrong diagnostic. Maybe he did a wrong diagnosis or something like that. He was like so worried. But after that, the doctor says, I'm so sorry. Maybe I did a mistake. And secondly, I'm also one like to tell you, you are totally out of this danger. We do not need to do this kind of surgery. You are free to go. You are totally normal. And she said, no, actually, I know that I had this situation, but I went around the Govardhan every day. We may say, oh, maybe she went for a 10 hours walk, heal the leg or whatever, but doesn't matter. But that is how powerful Govardhan. So that's why when we go for pilgrimage, we must ensure that we associate with devotees and do what we're supposed to. Not simply go there and just sightseeing and come back. collect some water, collect some dust. That's not supposed to be the way, right? Then other than that, of course, Chaturmasya. All right. So we spoke about Chaturmasya. Why Chaturmasya is very important. So Chaturmasya is the so Chaturmasya is actually very auspicious moment. What they call 4 months fasting. So we should able to fast. You should be able. So we do what we can do. All right. For example, can we do something? What they call? Can we do? Can we give up one thing, or we increase our chanting and all these things? Okay. So that is what we have read so far, which is the very, very important topics to see. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, now we're going to go into Archana 30, right? What is Archana means? Okay, Archana. Okay. Suddinyasit Purvanga Karma Nirvaha Purvakam Archanam Tupacharanam Syan Mantre no Papadanam. Okay, so it's in a 12137. Archana. Archana means what? Archana. In Tamil we call Archana. Archana means worship the deity in the temple. All right, that is called Archana. By executing this process, one confirms himself to be not to be the body but the spirit soul. All right. So when we go to the temple and do Archana, sometimes we say, oh, Archana means we give some coconut, some this thing and offering. Of course, that's one part. But when we start to worship the deity in the temple, when we go during that puja time, sometimes say like Mangalarti, deity greetings. Then after that, you sing in front of the Lord. This is all called under Archana. All right. And of course, to offer some gift for the deity and to accept, and or sometimes it's like, I think in Todu they do that. They got Archana. So you pay around a few ringgit, they give you one tray, one fruit and everything. So you just give to them, and the priest will pray and give it to you, Archana. So the idea about Archana is what is it? To confirm that himself not the body but the spirit soul. Why? Because you are relating yourself not on a bodily concept but on a spiritual concept. Okay. In 1081 to 19, Tat yata dashame sarv swarga pavargayo pungsam rasayam bhuvi sampadang sarvasam apisiddhinam moolam tat charana charanam charanarchanam. All right, charana archanam. So in the 10th canto now, 81st chapter, verse 19, Srimad Bhagavatam, it is told how Sudama. Who is Sudama? Sudama is an intimate friend of Krishna. Okay, he's a very close friend of Krishna. Right? So, while going to the house of Brahmana, so intimate friend of Krishna, what happened to him? So Sudama, while going to the house of a Brahmana, murmured to himself. Now, he murmured to himself means he's talking to himself. No? I mean, whispering, murmured. What he thought? Simply by worshipping Krishna, one can easily achieve the result of heavenly opulence, liberation and supremacy over the planetary system of the universe. Okay, now let's identify this statement here. So it says he murmured. Murmured means he's talking to himself. That he says, simply by worshipping Krishna. That means what? Simply. Right? Just simply when you start to worship Krishna, what will be your advantages? All right? You can easily achieve the result of heavenly opulence. So that means what? Easily you can achieve the results of heavenly opulence. So that means, are you going to heaven? Not yet. But you can achieve the results. How opulence is there in heaven? You can achieve it. Number 2, liberation. And number 3, supremacy over planetary system of the universe. Supremacy planetary system means you are not going to be entangled with all these kind of planetary system, all right, planetaries, all right, like Navagraha. If you have Ragu, Kedu, is a shadow planet. People are so worried. If Rahu sits in the house of disease, your disease will be, Rahu means like a magnifying glass. Bhuda Kannadi வச்சோம்னா புருஷா தெரியும். ராகு வந்து பெருசா சின்னதாக்கிறோம், சுருக்கிறோம். சரியா? அப்ப நம்ம வந்துட்டு ஒரு ராகு தசையில வந்துட்டு the Rahu planet sees in the house of disease. So அப்ப என்ன ஆகும்னா அந்த சின்ன இருக்கிற சீக்க பெருசாக்கி விட்டுரும். Sometimes you just say a small thing, but the thing can even be chronic and people can even die to that. If Kedu sits in the house of, if the Kedu sits in the house of disease, say a person is going through some kind of chronic disease, like cancer, fourth cancer or something like that. But when the Kedu moves into the house of disease, what happened? And the பெரிய சீக்கு அப்படி சின்னதாக்கிரும், காணாவே போயிடும். Sometimes that's why when you see sometimes when a person was so healthy, nothing, just a small thing like yesterday that one of my that the party who passed away yesterday, my wife's side. You know what happened? She always have a habit because she got a holes in the teeth. She like to take a small pin and try to like clean the teeth. When she was cleaning, slightly it hits the what they call the jaw. I mean the jaw there, you know, kila, what they call the gum. லேசா குத்திருச்சு கம். அது லேசா குத்தி லேசா ரத்தம் வந்து turn into what they call சலமா மாறிடுச்சு. What they call சலமா?
Abscess.
Okay. Sorry?
Abscess.
And that one turned into, became so big, and she had a septic shock or something like that.
Septicemia.
Sorry?
Septicemia.
Septicemia, yes. So septic shock. She died because of septic shock. Other salam vechi, and the salam persai, adil enmo or shock, they call it the salam shock. That is the time. Which we can't even imagine. Just ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு ஊசி எடுத்து சும்மா அப்படியே குத்தும்போது லேசா குத்தி ஒரு ரத்தம் வந்திருக்கு. அது சலம் வச்சு அந்த சலத்தினால இறந்துட்டாங்க. ஆனா அதே கேது இருந்துச்சுன்னா பயங்கரமான fourth stage கேன்சர், பயங்கரமா பொழைக்கவே மாட்டேன்னு சொல்லிடுவாங்க, திடீர்னு பொழைச்சிருவாங்க, காணாவே போயிடும். ஸோ இதுதான் ராகு கேது. அதனாலதான் சில பேர் பயப்படுவாங்க. ஏன்னா ராகு வந்துட்டு when it comes to the planet, the house of profit, ரைட், சின்னதா வியாபாரம் செய்யறோம், பெரிய கோடீஸ்வரன் ஆயிருவான். ஆனா கேது அங்க வந்து உட்கார்ந்துச்சுன்னு வச்சுக்கீங்களா, பெரிய கோடீஸ்வரன் பிச்சைக்காரன் ஆயிருவான். So like that. Then other than that, Sanishwara means make everything you go on a slow motion. It is just like you're watching a movie, but now you click the thing and it goes to slow motion. Slow motion. So everything that you want to do, it will be very slow. You'll be very actively wondering, hey, why everything is moving so slow? All right. So like that, we are always disturbed by all these 9 planetary systems. இவ அங்க போய் உட்காந்துக்கும், இது இங்க வந்து உட்காந்துக்கும், ராகு ஒரு இடத்துல உட்காரும், தசாபுத்தி வரும், தசாபுத்தியில இது வரும், அந்த தசாபுத்தியில, oh my God, just name it. And of course, when you can provide a solution to this, you become a millionaire. That's why you see all the astrologers nowadays are very rich. But remember, there is a specific planet, a hellish planet created only for the astrologer. You know, I remember reading somewhere, someone, I think my spiritual, someone was saying, there is a specific hell created only for the astrologer. When the flow start to give wrong advice, these are the flow will go to that specific planet, and I'm not sure what is how the torturing and suffering. That's why if you are not qualified to speak on astrology, don't even speak about it. And that astrology only must be spoken by a devotee who is renounced, who is distinct. That means you don't have any intention. His intention is to advise you what to do, and that advice must be dovetailed to Krishna conscious. All right. So now we understand from here. Chapter 10, verse from Srimad 10 Canto, 81 chapter and verse 19. Okay, it says that even when we simply worship, we have a supremacy over the planetary of the universe. All right, all the planetary system. So we have no worries about this kind of astrology because we know everything. We just dovetail to Krishna because there's only 2 options. Either you surrender to Krishna, you surrender to Maya. There's nothing in between. There's nothing in between. If you are semi-Krishna, semi-Maya, you are not going to achieve your goal. Either you go there or you come here. There's nothing in the between. There's 2 extreme points. So when we surrender to Krishna, Maya is no more under control. So now whatever test or whatever things that happen to you, it is only Krishna is testing you through Yoga Maya. So Krishna is testing you. So Krishna is testing you. Okay, you are so much attached to me, really. Suddenly you make sure that one beautiful girl walk in front of you. How are you attracted to? So, oh my God, look at the pretty girl. Wow. Ooh. Then after you start to think about it, then thank God you're doing journal. When you write your journal, you start to say, look, you were carried away by that pretty girl. That means what? Your mind is not steady yet. So like that, you do check and balance. So as a devotee, whatever things that happen to us, we should take it as a testing of Krishna. That means, in other words, what we should think is actually Krishna is paying attention to you. You know, we are all trying to create some kind of attachment. We want someone to come and pay attention to us. All right. We want someone, hey, like we always like try to get, sometimes when the spiritual master comes, we like to go and stand in front of the spiritual master, give a big smile. Sometimes you can see, you know, when you're doing this online, when you're having like a Zoom meeting with spiritual master, you see some devotees can simply give a big smile. I don't know if you have noticed or not. You know, big smile. Oh, they will smile really big because to attract the spiritual master. Hey, spiritual, who's this person? Hey, Hare Krishna, how are you? Are you doing well? Because I've seen a few incidents. I said, why did you smile like that? Are you in really ecstasy? And then he just smiled. Then I understood, okay. So like that, every one of us want to attract someone. Right? We want to attract our spiritual master. We want to attract our devotees. We want to attract. That means we want people to know, hey, I'm here, you know. We want some kind of recognition. Right? But now, when you look at this in a spiritual way, when you are undergoing some kind of challenges, when you are challenged, when you are not respected, when you are being derided, when you are frustrated, I mean, anything like, just name it, just name it, because you know what are the challenges you're going through. But remember this thing, if you are going through some kind of challenges as a devotee, your challenges usually come from where? From devotional service. You know, you still earn your money, you still go there, angala challenge theriyadhu. But comes to such sangha, devotee sangha, that's when the challenge starts. So, adala enna arthona, what we can understand from here, Krishna is paying attention to you. You should be very excited about it. That's why when Queen Kunti prays, oh dear Krishna, in first canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, prayers of Queen Kunti. What did she praise? Give me more and more suffering. Give me more and more challenges. Because whenever I'm going through challenges, whenever I go through suffering, that's when I can see you. You know? Because it looks like when I suffer, only you are here with us. So rather give me suffering. Then after that, she started to sing this song. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaye Namo Namaha. That song attracted Krishna so much. Then Krishna said, I will stay another few days. Because Krishna want to go. And all of them don't want to let him go. There's so much. So Queen Kunti will be saying, give me more suffering. Give me more pain. If I go through this, you are with me. If I'm okay, you go away. I don't want that. Then Krishna will be smiling. Then she start to say this prayer. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Nama. Please memorize this prayer. It's a very powerful prayer. The prayer that attracted Krishna. When Kunti Devi says this prayer, Krishna melt. And Krishna says, I will stay another few more days. Right? So like that. So as a devotee, we always must remember, whatever challenges we are going through, we understand Krishna is paying attention to you. In one part, painful, but in other part, yes. Right? Yes. You know, sometimes when a soldier is going through some kind of severe training, what the soldier will think, looks like my superior thinks I'm better. Maybe I'm going to be promoted, maybe as a commando or elite force. அதனாலதான் என்னை பயங்கரமா போட்டு வாட்டுறானுங்க. ஏன் இப்படி மத்தவனும் சும்மா இருக்கானுங்க, ஏன் என்னை போட்டு இப்படி வாட்டுறான்? Because if he's going to lament, he'll fall. But if he's going to think, that means my superior noticed me, noticed that I got this kind of talent. Why not give him more and more test on him whether he really can become the elite force? So he can take it. So similarly, as a devotee, whenever challenges we go through, take it very happily. Right? Whatever it is, just name it. Like, just don't care. Right? We know that Krishna is paying attention to us. Okay, anyway, so he says, when we simply worship Krishna, one person achieves the result of heavenly opulence, liberation, and also supremacy of all the planetary system. All right? But then when we look at this, and all the opulence of this material world, all the opulence, what are the opulence that you want in material world, can be achieved simply by praying to Krishna. All right? At the same time, you also can achieve the mystic power of performing yoga system. All right? Performing yoga system. So, what does that mean? That means when we simply pray, but why did Bhagavatam need to say like this? To attract, you know, because see, I know if I worship Krishna, I can have everything. I don't need to waste my time meditating. I don't need to waste my time speculative knowledge. I simply need to worship Krishna. And how you worship Krishna? You cannot simply put in the Krishna in the altar and start to show ghee lamp and all this. That's not the way. When you start to fall in love with someone, you have to know that person. And the information about that person is only mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. In Bhagavad Gita, he showed his instruction. Now you follow this. In Srimad Bhagavatam, he's revealing his personal life. This is how I live. And Chaitanya Charitamrita talks about his internal mood. You know, his Krishna is very sensitive. His Krishna is a great lover. His Krishna is willing to give up everything for the sake of devotee. How is this? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and expressed his private feeling to all the pure devotees. That's why in Chaitanya Charitamrita, only the pure devotees are. If you are studying Chaitanya Charitamrita, you should understand this in your heart. You are elevating yourself. You are in the next level. Of course, this understanding should not make you feel very egoistic. Oh, I'm a pure devotee of the Lord. That's not that idea. When you can simply sit and study Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is to be understood that you are some or other going into a deep personal mood of Krishna. And the best thing is, if you can understand what you're studying, you are next level. And after that, you could feel, you can understand the spirit and the mood, and you can start to feel it in your heart. That means you are really advanced. That is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because there's so many places we see Lord Chaitanya will start to melt. Then we can think, what? Melt? How is that possible? When he start to sing the Krishna's name and everything, his body start melting. Melting after yelagadu. How can that be? How can the hand become this thing? He start to melt. Once he fell into the ocean. He went and called Krishna, Krishna. He fell into the ocean and he disappears. And he became like so melting. His body all start become like date. The devotee don't know what to do. He went to go and catch on one fisherman. He take the net and throw at Lord Chaitanya and pull him out from the ocean. They say, how is that possible? That is how. When we can understand the mood. What is another example of melting? All right. Another example of melting. When Mother Rohini went to Dwaraka. And all the 16,000 wives of Krishna came and approached her and telling, my dear mother-in-law, I don't know why Krishna don't seems to be very attracted to me. I give them everything. What he needs beyond. I always think I'm doing the best. Rukmini Devi, Satyabhama, all were lamenting. What do you expect? I've even given more. But why? He is not attracted. There's something is not right. I can feel something is not right. I can feel something is missing. At night, suddenly you'll call some names. Call the name. Hey, cow. All the names of Krishna's cow. Say like ABC cow, BYZ cow. Come, I'm waiting for you. And he burst out crying. Then he'll be calling, oh Radha, oh Saki, oh Vishaka, oh Lalita. Who are these people? What is something is not right with Krishna? Suddenly he calls some girl's name. Suddenly he start to call his cow. Then after that, he just wake up from the bed and he just cry and cry and cry. We just don't understand what is happening. My dear mother-in-law, please tell us what is happening. And he says, okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you the mysterious childhood pastime in Vrindavan. But make sure the door is closed, locked. Don't let Krishna or Balaram to come here. They say, why? If he comes, he will leave you for good. If he can just remember back the pastimes of Vrindavan, he will leave for good. And you forget about Krishna. He will never come back to all of you. Ah, really? But, okay. Then and the mother Rohini said, now, Subhatra, lock the door and stay outside and make sure that these two boys don't come in. Make sure your brother don't come here. So, okay, mother. She goes and lock the door. And Rohini Devi will be like speaking about Krishna's Vrindavan pastime. When he was a baby, what he did and everything. And that time, Krishna and Balaram will be coming. And Yasoda will be standing, Subhatra will be standing at the door. Say, hey, you, don't come in. And suddenly when people say, don't come in, they say, why? What's happening? No. Mother Rohini says, don't come in. You all shouldn't come in. Hey, Mother Rohini, what's the name I say just now? Yeah. So don't come in. Don't come in.
Subhatra,
Hey,
Prabhu.
Subhatra is there.
Yes.
Yeah, Rohini, Maharohini. So he's telling, don't come in. Say, why don't come in? He said, but the Mother Rohini, this thing, she'll be speaking in great ecstasy. Mother Rohini start to speak in great ecstasy. She's supposed to speak very slow. But when she go into ecstasy, sometimes when you start to sing Hare Krishna, suddenly when you go to ecstasy, Hare Krishna, you start to scream. That means, are you gone crazy? Are you became like sentimental? Are you gone what, nut? Suddenly you scream Hare Krishna? Ecstasy. That uncontrollably you start to scream Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You don't care who is beside you. Like that, when Mother Rohini start to speak in great ecstasy, she start to speak loud. And Krishna and Balaram could hear. And they were listening. And Subhatra Devi, she also got mesmerized. Krishna also got mesmerized. Balaram also got mesmerized. When she start to hear and they start to remember all their past time, you know what happened? They three start to melt. The hands start to go shrink. The legs start to distinct. The ears shrink inside. The eyes became so big. The mouth became so wide. And they start to shrink like that. They start to shrink. And that time Narada Muni will come. He says, what is happening? Who are you boys? Who are you? You look weird. What has gone wrong with you? I mean, who are you? No hand pointed out like that. No leg. No ears. No nose. And only the mouth is big smile. And the eyes were so huge and the pupil were dilated. Like people when they die, when they're dilated. You know, the eyes is dilated. What is wrong? And he says, oh, after Krishna hear his pastime, he start to melt. And after that, Lord Krishna says, you have seen the supreme form. When I melt with the love of gopis. So, since you have seen this confidential form, Narada, ask, what do you want? I'm in great ecstasy. Ask whatever you want. And Narada Muni says, my dear Lord, hope one day the whole world can worship you in this form, the melted form. இலகுன ரூபத்துல ஒரு காலத்துல உங்களை வணங்குவாங்க சொல்லிட்டு எனக்கு அந்த வரம் கொடுங்க. Say, okay, I'll fulfill that desire. Soon in the future, I'll appear in this form in Kshetra, Purushottama Kshetra. And what is that form? Lord Jagannath. Soon I'll appear. I will go there. I will always get, I'll go there and give darshan. I will be very ecstatic. I want to see all the good qualities of the devotees. And I don't have ears, so I don't want to hear any propaganda, anything. I don't have a ear. You tell me so I cannot hear. But I want to see. I want to see. That's why when they say, when you even do a little mistake, Krishna don't even want to see that. First you do you're doing nasty things. You'll be looking, who are you, man? Thinking, what is this? But after that, you just do little seva for Jagannath. And in that great ecstatic form, because he's in great ecstasy, he'll forget all the nonsense that you have done. That is Jagannath. So melted form. So if you look at this verse here, what we understand from here? First, that what Sudama was telling, you worship this, anything that you want to be the richest man in the world, you want to go to heaven, you don't, okay, first I want to be a multi-millionaire. Secondly, I don't want this 9th planet to come and disturb me. Suddenly Sunny will come, suddenly Rahu comes, suddenly, all these I don't want, because they are my challenges. I don't want that, fair enough. At the same time, I want all opulent, fair enough, right? Then I do all this thing, end of the day, end of the life, I want to be liberated. Okay, given. All these achieved simply by worshipping the Lord. So what the wise person will do? Yes, I think I should start to pray to Krishna. But how to pray to Krishna? You must know what Krishna wants. Right? First, I start to study Bhagavad Gita. Oh, this is what Krishna says. Okay. Then after that, your heart will be, okay, I want to know more about Krishna. You have already decided to worship Krishna. I want to know more about Krishna. Then you go to Srimad Bhagavatam. When you go to Srimad Bhagavatam, you go into the ecstatic feeling. Oh, I want to go further. Then I will go into Chaitanya Charitamrita. When I go to Chaitanya Charitamrita, what will happen? You will start melting. You will melt. And all the desire of opulence, of richness, of all these things will simply disappear from your eyes. So now you understand? Attract to Krishna, and the side effect is you will melt. Okay? So that's the nice verse from the 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. So this event leading to Sudama's murmuring, the statement as follows. Sri Krishna had ordered his friend Sudama to go to Brahmana house and ask for some food. Why the thing happened? Because Krishna told Sudama, go to this one Brahmin house and ask for some food. The Brahmana were performing a great sacrifice. That time, Brahmana was doing a great sacrifice. He's doing a break. And Krishna told Sudama to plead with them. கெஞ்ச சொல்றாரு போய் கெஞ்சுங்க எனக்கு ஏதாச்சும் சாப்பாடு கொடுங்க எனக்கு பசிக்குது கெஞ்சுங்க go and plead that he and Balaram were feeling hungry and needed some food. But when Sudama went there, Sudama அங்க போனோன்னு என்னாச்சு? The Brahmana refused to offer anything. Right? The Brahmana refused to offer anything. Hey, போடா, don't disturb me. யாகம் செய்யறதுல வந்துட்டான் சாப்பாடுக்கு. பொறுத்திருந்த அப்புறம் வாங்கிட்டு போ. இல்ல, Krishna and Balaram is hungry. I say, get out. Don't disturb me. Om Krishna, Swaha, Om Keshava. இந்த நேரத்துல என்ன வந்துட்டாங்க அப்படின்னு something. But the wives of a Brahmana, அவங்களோட மனைவி என்னாச்சு? Upon hearing that Sri Krishna wanted some food stuff, what they did, immediately they took many palatable dishes and went to offer to them to Krishna. Right? So now, the wives of a Brahmana simply accepted the thing. So now we understand where do the men and women stand. For the men, it is what is the word? Logical. This thing. What is the word? What is it? Emotion. And what is the thing? The day I said emotion. And the women are very emotional. All right. Their heart melt. They broke the whatever it is that to see the wife of a Brahmana cannot offer anything without the knowledge of the husband. But that mothers, when he heard that Krishna and Balaram was hungry, what she did? They immediately took all the food palatable and they gave to Sudama and said, please go and feed them. So now who is the devotee here? Right? So what kind of person are we? Do we need to worship Krishna do we need to worship Krishna in a very logical way? Or we should worship Krishna in an emotional way? Right? You must understand, my dear Prabhus and mothers, in devotional service, nothing makes sense. Nothing actually makes sense. If you really sit and wonder, does anything make sense to you? Nothing makes sense. Right? Waking up early in the morning, doing Mangalarati. Why? Then after that, you go around one plant. What? Then you blow the conch shell, disturbing the neighbor. What? Right? Why can't I just put my hand like this? No? No, I cannot. I can make a, why I need to use a conch shell? When I can even make my, oh, like that. I can even, why conch shell? Doesn't make sense. Then you cook. And you put in front of the deity, in front of the altar. You close the altar, same prayer, and the food become spiritual. Doesn't make sense. And that also you must put some tulasi. Doesn't make sense. Right? You repeatedly chant Hare Krishna. Sometimes when we go on chanting for months and years, there's no taste, nothing. Still we are struggling. Doesn't make sense. Because in spiritual, in devotional service, everything is emotion. Because you're not using any sense perception. Right? The emotion that deep, that is the real nature of the soul, consciousness. The worshipping of Krishna is consciousness, can never be explained. That's why when you see 10 devotees, when you put them in a different place, you just can take 10 devotees, put them in different place. And I said, now please explain why you're so attached to Krishna, why you're so interested in Krishna consciousness. You write it down and give it to me. When I take the 10 testimony from 10 different persons, all the 10% have a different kind of feeling. They all cannot have a standard kind of explanation. You understand? Even the relationship with spiritual master, right? Say, like, for instance, a man with 10 children, the 10 children somehow or other know what's going to, my father character going to look like. But the spiritual master, even though you have thousands of disciples, he reciprocates to every disciple in a very different way. It's very unique. Cannot be explained. It's emotional. Right? So that's the thing. So now we understand. So immediately they took and gave it to them. So the man always says, follow the rules, being sensible. But the women are emotional. So now we understand that is how. So to worship Krishna, it is something which is beyond our sense perception. Right? Now it's also mentioned in Vishnu Rahasya. Sri Vishnu Archanam Yetu Prakurvanti Narabhuvi Yeshanti Shashvatam Vishnur Anandam Paramam Padam. In the Vishnu's Rahasya is also stated, any person within the world who is engaged in worship of Vishnu, any person within this world, all right, they're talking about any person within this world, they worship that Vishnu, engage in worship of Vishnu. Engage means what? Participating. Can verily achieve ever blissful kingdom of God, known as Vaikuntha Loka. So anyone who have worshipped this Vishnu, all right, through Archana, that means through offering and deity worship, they can achieve the Vaikuntha Loka. That means not necessary the person born from a high caste family or a low caste. It doesn't matter. All right, 31. Paricharya. Paricharya tu sevo pakaranadi parikshkriya tata prakir nakachatra paditradyair upasana. So now rendering service to the Lord. It is stated in Vishnu Rahasya. Again, it's Vishnu Rahasya. Vishnu Rahasya means what? The secret. Rahasya means secret. Right? Any person who can arrange for service to the Lord in the same way that the king is given service to the attendants, surely elevated to the abode of Krishna after death. All right? What does that mean? Any person can arrange for service to the Lord. If you are arranging a service, let me say, like, for instance, you're doing something, you're arranging a service to the Lord, okay? In the same way, all right? The king gives a service to the attendant. Now I'm going to create, you do this, do that, something like that. So you can arrange a service, all right? All right, today we are coming, okay, now you're in charge of cooking. Now you do the cooking. Now you're in charge of cleaning the pot. Now you're in charge of this thing. So you're arranging the service. Also can be elevated to the abode of Krishna after death. So now, actually in India, Prabhupada is selling, it's just like a royal palaces. Like in India, when you see all the temple, it's like royal palaces. They are not ordinary building because the worship of Krishna should be performed in just way that a king is worshipped in his palace. So in Vrindavan, there are many hundreds of temples wherein the deity is worshipped exactly like the king. Yata naradaye muhurtam va muhurtardam yestis tettari mandire ya sayati paramangstanam kim ushushrushane rataha. So in Narada Purana it is stated, Narada Purana. If a person in the Lord's temple, even for a few moments, all right, if a person stays in the Lord's temple even for a few moments, he can surely achieve the transcendental kingdom of God. So please remember this, very important. And also advise those people who feel, I rather have deity in the house, I worship the deity in the house, I do not need to go to temple. That it's a kind of things that is happening quite rampantly. Those who are listening online, I'm also advising you. Temple is the place that you should go. It is not to say I've got a what they call I've got a deity in the house. I've got a deity in the house. So I'm worshipping the deity. I am doing this, so I do not need to go to temple. So association, I go online. There's a lot of Zoom meeting. I go and join some Zoom meeting, associating and learning. That is enough. No, that's not the way. Because of this, now you see a lot of ISKCON temples are becoming more and more reduced in participant. Because many devotees rather stay at home and attending some Bhagavatam class, Bhagavad Gita class. Sometimes you can see the devotees attending so many classes. Right? I'm attending Bhagavatam, Then after that, oh, this speaker is speaking on Bhagavad Gita, and this speaker is speaking about Chaitanya Charitamrita, and I'm chanting my rounds. No, that's enough, fair enough. But that's not sufficient. If that's the thing, then Prabhupada should not have established temples. He should have just established a center, like a cell group. Right? So now, please take photo of this statement so that you can keep it for a future reference. Please take photo. Okay. So you must always remember that. If someone come and tell you, well, I think I worship. Why, I didn't see you in the temple, why? No, I've got a deity in the house. I worship in the house, go to temple, associate with devotees, so leche, sometimes they got attitude problem. I cannot tahan. I don't want them. I know. No, that's not an excuse, right? So that means you must remember this one thing very clearly. When a person who doesn't want to come to temple, they may think, oh, I don't want to associate with devotees. I feel the devotees are so annoying and all this. I rather sit at home and this thing. You are thinking you are doing the right thing. But remember, if you are not coming to the temple, the deities in the temple had rejected you. It is not that you don't want. They have rejected you. They say you are such a person who cannot get along. You stay outside. We may think, I don't want to come to temple. Or if you may feel good, the false ego, ahankar, will tell you, oh, I can't get along with these people. I rather stay at home. No, it's not that. Your deities have rejected you because of your aparat. They were coming and creating so much of trouble to the devotees. You rather stay outside. Right? So please kindly advise them. Do not need to come and be very another மூஞ்சில அடிச்சாப்ல அதெல்லாம் சொல்ல தேவையில்ல. உனக்கு நீ கோயிலுக்கு வரலையா ஐயா? இவன் சரியில்லை. அவன் இவன் சரியில்லைன்ல. அங்க இருக்கிற டேட்டி உன்னை தூக்கி போட்டுருச்சு வெளியே. You are out. He rejected you, Don't think that you don't want to come to temple, The deities have rejected you, அப்படிலாம் சொல்லி அவங்க மனசை புண்படுத்த அவசியம் இல்லை. Don't deride them. யார் மனசையும் நம்ம உடைக்க வேணாம், யார் மனசையும் புண்படுத்த வேணாம். அப்ப நம்மளுக்கு இந்த விவரம் தெரியுது. ஓகே, இதை படிக்கும் போது தெரியுது. ரைட்? படிக்கும்போது என்ன தெரியுது? ஒருத்தர் பக்தர் கோயிலுக்கு வரலைன்னா ஏதோ அவர் பண்ண ஏதோ ஒரு இதனால அந்த பகவான் அவரை ஒதுக்கி வைக்கிறாங்க. ஆனா பகவானோட கருணையானவர் யாரு? Who is more merciful than God? The devotees. பக்தர்கள் பகவானோட கருணையானவர். They are more merciful than Krishna. Right? They are more merciful. It's mentioned in Nectar of Devotion படிப்போம். Right? Because Bhagavan, I think it's the following chapter we'll study that. The Bhagavan don't come and give you ecstatic feeling. It happened only few incidents, like Dhruva Maharaj, Bali Maharaj. இவங்கெல்லாம் வந்து very rare cases. Bhagavan came, he saw the form of Bhagavan, they went into ecstasy. அதெல்லாம் rare. ஆனா மத்தபடி உங்களுக்கு அந்த கருணை கொடுக்கிறது யாரு? Who is giving you mercy? That Krishna have to not. Yes, I'll agree. Yes, Prabhu, you are my devotee. When you say so, I will listen to you. I don't even think twice. The person that Krishna can submit is through the devotees. Right? Of course, we are not to that level of advanced devotee. What I'm saying is that's the thing. So when you see here someone who are not coming to temple and whatever it is, you have to go and explain to them. Look here. In Narada Purana, it says, Muhurtam va muhurtardam yastistedari mandire sayati paramangstanam kim ushushushane rataha. If a person stays in the Lord temple even for a few moments, he can surely achieve the transcendental kingdom of God. But sometimes the devotees say, never mind, I go to India. How often can you go to India? 1 year, once? You go there? How often can you go and pay attention? You go on a marathon. All right? Before you go, you call one tour guide. He will tell you, we're going to Vrindavan, Mathura, Dwaraka, then Jagannath Puri. In 14 days. One round you go, come back, kala kalti ichiranida, kalla kalndro. Oh, so tired of doing what? Oh, go there, then from the you go here. Before you go down, you say, I give you only 15-20 minutes, go 20 minutes at most. போனோமா கை எடுத்து கும்பிட்டுமா 4 இடத்த பாத்தீங்களா டக்குனு வந்துருங்க இன்னொரு இடத்துக்கு போகணும். Marathon. Do you think you can achieve some kind of perfection? No, you can't. So when you have a temple near you, even if it's going to be a further distance from you, take that extra mile. Take that extra mile. Take that extra effort. Go and participate. It is very, 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 very important. Of course, you're studying Bhagavatam, you're studying Bhagavad Gita, you're studying this Nectar of Devotion, everything, fair enough. But how? If you're not going to execute what you learn, if you're not going to apply what you learn, then what's the point? The application of this knowledge is to worship the Lord. And when you look at the worship of the Lord, you can just put it, in hierarchy. Worship the Lord. What are the first worship you have to do? Visit him first. Visit him. No point having a deity in the house. Is there any big difference? Yes, it's a huge difference. The deity is in the house is part of your family. Right? But the deity in the temple, everybody coming and worshipping. That's the place, they're worshipping and this is so. You have to visit the deity in the temple. Right? So every Sunday they're having a festival. Like in Ipoh, they're having a Mangalarti festival. Like last Sunday, Mangalarti was amazing. Right? Last time we thought, who will turn up? At first few, then few. Like yesterday, I think almost 20 over 20, 30 people almost enough. Even the prasadam was not enough. Right? Sudden gush of people. So many people turn up. So why they're coming? It's very important. You must visit the temple. You must visit. Right? Doesn't matter where do you stay. Take that extra mile at least once a week. If you can't, at least once a month. But that's not an excuse. All right? If possible, try to do it every week. The best if you can do it every single day. That's the best. But you can't, at least once a week. Go there. Go and join the party when everybody going to sing and dance. Join them. After great dancing and great singing, there'll be huge prasadam is prepared for you. Go enjoy yourself to the maximum. Eat to your neck. That is worth it. All right? Not simply sit at home and thinking that you will create like a bhajana kutir. Like a Babaji, they stay in one bhajana kutir, stay at home and do the prayers and puja. Okay. The conclusion is that those who are rich men in the society should construct beautiful temples. All right. And arrange the worship of Vishnu. Okay. Only for the rich men. So that people can be attracted to visit such temples. And thereby to be offered opportunity dancing before the Lord and chanting the holy name of the Lord. Or else hearing the holy name of the Lord. In this way, everyone will be given a chance to elevate himself to the kingdom of God. In other words, even a common man, simply by visiting such temple, will be able to attain the highest benediction. Not to mention of devotees who are constantly engaged in the service of the Lord in full Krishna consciousness. If you go to India, all the Brahmanas, even when you look at Sri Vaishnava, all the Brahmanas, they have deities in the house. Even at least they have, what do you call? Saligram Sila. At least they have Saligram. Even you go to India, even you go to Mayapur, Vrindavan, all that person that roam around, they are going visiting, they have a deity in the house. Even Prabhupada had a personal deity in the house. But he always liked to go and visit that Radha Krishna's temple. Right? So we must remember this. We are not trying to create Bhajana Kutir. You have to go and visit the deities. 4.21.31 Srimad Bhagavatam, re-quoted in 1.2.142. Yat pada seva viruchis tapashvinam ashesha janmo pachittam malam diya sadya shinotyan vaham edati sati yata padangushta vinishrita sarit. Right? In this connection, okay, the 4th canto, 21st verse and 3. Srimad Bhagavatam, okay, it's quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, here, what is mentioned here? It's mention of King Prithu. Now, the King Prithu is talking to his subjects. King Prithu is addressing his citizen. He says, my dear citizens, please note. So now you also please note. Please note that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is actually the deliverer of the fallen conditioned soul. No demigod can perform this act for delivering the conditioned soul, because the demigod themselves are conditioned. So we understand here, that means the demigods themselves are conditioned. A conditioned soul cannot deliver another conditioned soul. Okay? Only Krishna or his bona fide representative can deliver him. The Ganges water which flowing down from the toe of Lord Vishnu. The Ganges water flowing from the toes of Lord Vishnu. All right? That means what? When Krishna took that Trivikram avatar with the toes, right? He's going to hit the core of the universe and Viraja river. Virajana. So the toes touch. From the toes of Krishna comes down the water of Ganges. So that means the Ganges which flowing down from the toes of Lord Vishnu falls upon earthly planet and other planet and thereby deliver all the conditioned soul, conditioned sinful living entities. So what need is there to speak of the deliverance of a person who are always engaged in the service of the Lord? Okay. That means by default, the Ganges comes and flows. That means come from all the upper planetary system, comes to the earth, right? Ends in Bay of Bengal, and from Bay of Bengal, it will go to the lower planetary system. It's keep going, keep moving, go to the next thing, and like that is delivering all the things. Just the water from the toe of Vishnu is delivering so many living entities. Now the thing King Prithu is telling, how about people who engage in the service of the Lord? What benefit they can have? So there is no doubt about their liberation, right? There is no doubt about their liberation. Even if they have stocks of sinful activities from many, many births, right? There is nothing to be doubt. Okay? You understand? There is no doubt about their liberation, even if they have stocks of sinful activity. That means they got so much of sinful activities from many, many, many births. All can be liberated. In other words, a person who is engaged in worship of the deities can minimize his stock of sinful reaction. That means when a person engaged in the worshipping of the deities, when we start to engage, Archana, when you start to engage in the deities, can minimize his stock. That means all your sinful stock can be reduced, which is coming from many, many previous births, right? So that's the advantage of worshipping the deities in the temple. Angani vividanyeva shu puja paricharyayo natani likitanyatra granta bahulya bitita. 1.2.143. The process of worshipping the deity has already been described, and one should try to follow these rules and regulations seriously. All right. Rupa Goswami is now saying a person must try to follow the rules and regulation very seriously. All right. Any questions so far? Do you have any questions? All good? All right. All right. So we continue. 10:30. Is it okay? We can just shoot because we started late 10:20. Is it okay if we just do a little after 11 o'clock? Will it be okay with everyone? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu, I'm okay with it, Prabhu.
Okay, wait. All right, Gandhi Mata Jose. Okay. Okay, now it's 11:30. Shall we just take a 2 minutes break? We just take 2 minutes break and we'll join. Okay, now let's look at the next one. Okay, 32. Ata Geetam Yata Lange Brahmano Vasudevakyam Gayamano Nishamparam Hare Salokyam Apnoti Rudra Ganadikam Bhave. Singing, right? Singing. So now why we should sing? In the Linga Purana, there's a statement. In which Purana? Linga Purana. Okay. So sometimes we say, hey, where got such thing now? Now, Rupa Goswami is quoting in Linga Purana at 1.2.144. Sorry, it says 1.2.144. He says in Linga Purana, there is a statement about glorifying and singing about the Lord. It is said that there, a Brahmana who is constantly engaged in singing, a Brahmana who constantly engaged in singing the glories of the Lord is surely elevated to the same planet as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna appreciates the singing even more than the prayers offered by Lord Shiva. Look at that. Linga Purana, Lord Shiva is himself saying that, so not Lord Shiva saying, in Linga Purana is mentioned that Lord Krishna appreciates the singing of a devotee even more than the prayers offered by Lord Shiva. Can you imagine? So that's why there is so many songs that we have. by songs of Acharya, right? Bhaja, Bhakata, what's like a Bogarati, then this Vrindavana, Ramyasthana, all this. So when we have to start to sing to the Lord. So when we sing that, you attract his attention. Why? Why we are studying all this? Because we want to be a pure devotee, right? So this is one of the things that we should add, right? Not listening to some cinema songs or cinema this thing, Mukunda, Mukunda, Govinda, the patla, and the patla, Enna Davam Sayde, Yasoda, all that, not necessary actually. Sing the song that expressed the love, the ecstatic feeling by our Acharya, especially the songs of Loknath Das, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, all these wonderful songs, right? But don't simply sing, read the translation, right? If one day, if we get a chance, maybe we can analyze one by one the songs of Acharya, all right? I have that in my mind that we should go through the reading of the songs of Acharyas, all right? I'm just looking for a relevant scriptures, this thing. If the thing is okay, one day we can do that also. Number 33. Atta Sankirtanam Namalila Gunadinam Uchcher Bhasatu Kirtanam. Right, it's quoted. This okay. When you see there's no quotation, right? So this is quoted by Rupa Goswami himself. He says Sankirtan. Or what is Sankirtan means? When a person loudly chants the glories of the Lord, activity, quality, form, etc. His chanting is called Sankirtan. Number one. When a person loudly chant, like for instance, when you take the Japa Mala and start to chant, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. That is called Sankirtan. Loudly chant. And Sankirtan also refers to the congregation chanting of the holy name of the Lord. All right. Either you chant loudly or you join as a congregation when they do Kirtan. All right. When they start to sing, when you sing along this thing. So when you start to chant softly, that's called japa. All right. So that's the thing. So you can even do Sankirtan in the house, or please join Sunday at least to join that congregation chanting of the holy name. Tatra nama kirtanam yata Vishnu dharme Krishneti mangalam nama yasya vachi pravartate Pashmi Bhavanti Rajendra Mahapataka Kotaya Krishna Mangalam Nama. Auspicious. In Vishnu Dharma, there's a statement glorifying the process of congregational chanting. Okay, glorifying the process of congregational chanting. He says, my dear king, this word Krishna is so auspicious. Krishneti Mangalam. Mangalam Urvagum. Very auspicious. That anyone who chants this holy name, what happened? Immediately, on the spot, what happened to him? He gets rid of the resultant action of sinful activities for many, many, many births. Okay? So, that is the thing. So, what we understand from here? When a person who chants the holy name, he gets immediate relief. Not relief. He get rid the action, the resultant of action, right? Of the sinful activities in many, many, many births. So now you think, which is worth it? To go to Ganga and take a dip? If you want to go to Ganga, first you have to buy first you must make sure you have money. Then you have to apply for Indian visa. Then after that, you must ensure your passport is ready. Then after that, you have to buy a plane ticket. And after that you fly in, then you have to make sure that you have some kind of transport locally. Go to Kaveri, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Godavari. Then you have to go there. Then you have to make sure you go and stay in a hotel. Then after that, after you stay in the hotel, then you get a local person to guide you. Then you go to the Ganga and you go there, you take a dip 3 times and worship. Then after that, you come back. Then you come back to the hotel. Then after that, you process finish. Then you have to come back to the airport. You fly back. You may fall sick. Sometimes, sometimes Indian weather, people can't take it. Kaal kodaidu, kai kodaidu, kacha vandarum, talavali vandarum. All this severe process we are undergoing a severe process, a strenuous process, simply to get rid of all the sins from our previous birth. But here in Vishnu Dharma, it's mentioned very simple. When you simply chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you immediately get rid of resultant activity from many, many births. That's why chanting must go on no matter what. Even one time you chant like that, imagine you chant 16, 32, 48, 64. Unbelievable. That is the fact. And there's also a following statement in Chaitanya Charitamrita. What it says, a person who chants the holy name of Krishna once, right? A person who chants the holy name of Krishna once, what he can do, he can counteract the resultant of action, many more sinful activities that he's able to perform. When a person can chant the Hare Krishna mantra, he can counteract the future sin that he can think that he can perform. என்ன பாவம் நம்ம செஞ்சா கூட நம்ம இதை ஒரு தடவை சொல்லிட்டோம்னா நம்ம என்ன பாவம் செஞ்சாலும் இது ஈடுகட்டாது. இந்த பாவம் அங்க நிக்காது, அழிஞ்சிடும். All right. Then Prabhupada says a sinful man can perform many sinful activities. He can do any kind of sin, but he is unable to perform so many that they cannot wiped off by the single uttering of Krishna. He can do many sins, but the sin can never stand. If he is unable to perform, we cannot perform more sin because all the sin can be wiped off by one single uttering Krishna. ஆனா தெரிஞ்சே செஞ்சோம்னா என்ன ஆகும்? நாமாப்ராத். One of the offense to chant, I think third or fourth aparat, to chant the name just to get rid of the sinful activity. இதை செஞ்சுட்டா தப்பு செஞ்சா பரவாயில்ல, சான் பண்ணா நல்லா ஆயிரும். அது செஞ்சீங்கன்னா முடிஞ்சு. ரைட்? இதெல்லாம் வந்து வாய்ப்பு எதுக்கு உங்களுக்கு கொடுக்குறாங்க? செஞ்சு உங்க பாவத்தை கழிக்க பாருங்க. ஆனா வீம்புக்கு பாவத்தை செஞ்சு செஞ்சுட்டா கழிக்க இந்த சிந்தனை வச்சுன்னா முடிஞ்சு, இருக்கிறதும் போயிடும். சரியா? So Leela Kirtanam Yata Saptame, right? It's in a 7.9.18. Soham Priyasya Suirdaha Paradevataya Leela Katastava Narasingha Virincha Gitaha Anjastitarmyanugranan Guna Vipramukto Durgani Te Pada Yugalaya Hansa Sangaha. 7th Canto, 9th chapter, verse 18, Srimad Bhagavatam. What it says? Now here Maharaj Prahlad is offering. Maharaj Prahlad offering following prayers to the Lord. Okay, Narasingha the praise kudukkararu. Enadhu? My dear Narasingha, if one can be elevated to the position of your servant, if I can be elevated, if I can come to the level standard to the position of your servant, then it will be possible for me to hear about your activities. That's when I can be able to hear your activities. You are the supreme friend, the supreme worshipable deity. Your pastimes are transcendental, and simply by hearing of them, one can counteract all his sinful activities. Simply by hearing the pastimes, all the sinful activity can be counteracted. Therefore, I shall not care for all those sinful activities. So now I don't care about all the sinful activities. Why? Because simply by hearing about your pastime, I shall get out of the contamination of this material attachment. Simply by hearing all this, I can come out of this kind of sinful. Okay. So that is how powerful it is. Simply by hearing. That's why they say we must speak Bhagavatam in the morning and read Bhagavatam in the morning and read Bhagavad Gita at night. There are many songs about the Lord's activities. There's many songs. For example, there is a Brahma Sanghita. Brahma Sanghita, sung by Lord Brahma. Then second is Narada Pancharatra, sung by Narada Muni. And Srimad Bhagavatam, sung by Sukadev Goswami. அப்ப நம்ம பார்க்கறதுல பாடல் தான் பார்க்கிறோம். So all these are songs sang by this great personality. If these songs are heard by any person, he can easily get out of the clutches of material contamination. Then Prabhupada is explaining, there should be no difficulty in hearing these songs of God. They are coming down many millions of years ago, and people are still taking advantage of them. So why at this time should one not take full advantage of this to become liberated? Okay, any question? Anyone got any question? All good? Now let's look at Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 22. Guna Kirtanam Yata Pratame Idam hi Pungshastapasha Shrutasya Va Shvitasya Suktasya Cha Buddhi Dattayo Avichuttorta Kavibir Nirupito Yat Uttama Shloka Gunanu Varnanam is quoted in 1 to 148. The first canto, 5th chapter, verse 22. Srimad Bhagavatam. Narada Muni tells his disciple Vyasadeva, my dear Vyasa, you should know that the person who engage in executing austerities and penance, studying the Vedas, performing big sacrifice, chanting the hymns of the Vedas, speculating on transcendental knowledge, and performing charitable function have for all their auspicious activity. That means they are doing all these for auspicious activity simply to gain place in the association of the devotee. And okay, have functions have for all their auspicious activity simply to gain place in the association of devotee and chant the glories of the Lord. It is indicated here that chanting about and glorifying the Lord is the ultimate activity of the living entity. What does that mean? It says, Narada Muni telling Vyasa, a person are engaged in executing austerity, penance, studying the Vedas, performing sacrifice, chanting the hymns of the Vedas, speculating on transcendental knowledge, performing charitable function. All right. So why they are doing all that? What is the reason they're doing? Because they want to have that auspiciousness of simply gain a place in the association of devotee. All right. Because they just want to get that association for the sake of getting association for the devotee. All right. Okay. 34. Ata japa mantrasya sulagu charo japit japa itya vidiyate. Right? In japa. Okay, now let's talk about japa. Chanting. Chanting the mantra or hymn softly. That means chanting the mantra or hymns softly and slowly is called japa. Okay? Slowly and softly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. So now the word that we should indicate here, I'm reminding myself also, slowly. All right? Not like a machine gun. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Right? Not that way. So it's called softly and slowly. It's called japa. Just give me a second. All right. Sorry. So chanting the mantra or hymns softly and slowly is called japa. But the chanting the same mantra loudly is called kirtana. All right. So slowly means japa, loudly means kirtana. For example, uttering the Maha Mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, very softly. How? Only for one's own hearing is called japa. That means you just chant for your own hearing. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Just for your own hearing. At the same time, chanting the same mantra loudly for being heard by all others is called kirtana. So when I chant Hare Krishna, I'm hearing. My son is hearing, my mother down there, she's hearing, and things around, everybody is hearing. This is called Kirtana. All right. So now it says, Prabhupada is explaining, Maha Mantra can be used for Japa and Kirtana also. When Japa is practiced, Japa is practiced, it is for the personal benefit of the chanter. But when the Kirtana is performed, it is for the benefit of the all other who may hear. All right. So we must remember that. So when you are chanting softly, it's for your own benefit. If you're chanting loudly, it's for everything around you. Right. So you can combine both when you do in your japa. First you chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Then loudly, then slowly. Japa and Kirtana, you can combine. Tatapatme Krishnaya Namityesha Mantra Sarvata Sadaka Bhaktanam Japatam Bhupa Svarga Moksha Para Prada. In Padma Purana, it says there's a statement. For any person who are chanting the holy name, either softly or loudly, the path of liberation, even heavenly happiness are at once open. Is open at once. So that's why as a devotee, we have no worries where we're going to end up. Because we understand from Padma Purana, when a person starts chanting, whether it's softly or loudly, the path of liberation and also even heavenly happiness is all open at once. Right? But what kind of chanting is this? Proper chanting. Right? 35. Atta Viknapti Yata Skande. It's now we're going to come from Skanda Purana. Harim Uddistaya Kinchit Kritam Vinyapanam Gira Mokshwa Dwarar Galang Mokshas Teneva Vihitastava Samprartanatmika Danya Bodhika Lalasa Mayi Ityadir Vivida Dhirai Krishne Vikna Patir Irita. Submission. Now we talk about submission. Right? Skanda Purana, there's a statement about submission unto the lotus feet of the Lord. Submission, Saranagati, submitting yourself. It is said that those who are sober devotee, very important. What it says? It is said that those who are sober devotee, sober enartham, nidanam, பதற்றம் இல்லாத நிலை, பரபரப்பா இருந்துகிட்டு பதற்றமா இருந்துகிட்டு கன்ஃபியூஸா இருந்துகிட்டு அதுல இல்ல. சோபர்னா நிதானம். Nidanam, sober, dhira. All right, they call dhira. So those who are sober devotee, they can offer their submission to Krishna in the following 3 ways. Right? Those who are sober devotee, they can offer their submission to Krishna in these 3 ways. All right? Number 1, samprartanatmika. Samprartanatmika. Apdi enna artham? Very feelingly offering prayers. Because you are so sober, you can offer your prayers very feelingly. Krishna, abdi. So you can talk to him very seriously. Padapapa irundhamna, confused romba padapapa irundhamna, we can't do that. So feeling offering. Number 2, Dainya Vodika. That means what? They can humbly submitting oneself. And number 3, Lalasa Mayi. Lalasa Mayi means desiring some perfectional stage. Right? So the 3 things can happen if a devotee is sober. If you are agitated, because or maybe can have due to some reasons, external, internal, all right? Internally, you feel, yeah, I shouldn't have come here. I should have done something else. You know, internally you are confused. You are regretting. Externally, maybe you are agitated, frustrated. So these kind of things, these kind of 3 things cannot be achieved by such a devotee. But if a devotee is sober, dhira, nidanama irukra bhaktar, nidanam. Nidanam irundha panivu varum. Manasu telivu varum. Illatina confuse ave irukum. They can worship offering prayer very feelingly. Number 2, humbly submitting oneself. Number 3, desiring some perfectional stage possible. So the desiring some perfectional stage in spiritual life, now Prabhupada explaining. So desiring to be a perfect devotee, it's not sense gratification. This is Baudiga asa illa. நான் ஒரு தூய பக்தனா ஆகணும், நான் என் பக்தியில சிறப்பா இருக்கணும், பக்தியில முன்னேறணும், நான் ஒரு பெரிய சாதகாவா இருக்கணும். இந்த மாதிரி ஆசைப்படுறது வந்து பௌதிக ஆசை இல்லை, இது ஆன்மீக ஆசை. It is not sense gratification. When one realizes something for his constitutional relationship, when one realizes something, when he start to understand something about his constitutional relationship with the Supreme Lord, he understands his original position and wants to reinstate that position. All right. So that means when we start to understand our original position, Swarupa Siddhi, idella vandu, of course, as you go on advance, you will get it. Your spiritual master will reveal to you, or by dream or whatever, you will understand your original position in Goloka, what actually you are doing. Right. So at least you want to reinstate that position. And the soul nam inge uruvaaka poren. Right. How? Either as a friend, we don't know whether you are a friend of Krishna, or you are a servant, or you are a father, parent, or maybe you are a lover. You are a Krishna's girlfriend. Nobody knows. So this is called as Lalasamayi, or very eagerly desiring to one's natural position. You are eager, you want to find out eagerly. நான் யாரு, நான் வந்து கோலோக்கால நான் என்ன சேவை செஞ்சிட்டு இருக்கேன், actually what is, who am I actually in கோலோக்கா, அதை தேடுறது, அதை ஆசைப்படுறது, அதை பத்தி நினைக்கிறது தப்பே இல்லை. This is called Lalaya Mayi stage of submission. Comes in the stage of perfect liberation. When you achieve that, when you come to the level of perfect liberation, what is liberation? Moksha, right? Sampratana daini, Sampratanatmika dainya bodhika lalasai ya etir vivida dira Krishna viknape irita. So moksha dvaragalam. Okay, that's it. This is that moksha steneva vihitastava. Moksha. ஆனா நம்ம மோட்சம் பத்தி பேசவே இல்லையே. We are not interested in liberation. But this one you're talking about come to the level of perfect liberation. What liberation are we talking now here? Remember this. We are liberating ourselves from material desire. We are liberating our senses. We are liberating our character. We are liberating our sense perception, our ahankar, our belief system. நான் யாரு, நான் இது, நான் அது, நான் தான் எல்லாமே, நான் தான் செஞ்சேன், நான் அது இது. All that liberate. என் கண்ணு அழகான விஷயத்தை பார்க்கணும், என் காது அழகான விஷயத்தை கேட்கணும். Your senses, பௌதிக ஆசை, அது இந்திரியங்கள், liberate. Make sure that everything I see, I only see Krishna. Everything I hear, only I see Krishna. All right. So the step one to achieve success in devotional service is what? What we understand from here is to become Dhira. That means to become a sober devotee. இதுதான் முக்கியமான ஒரு செயல். நம்ம வந்து சோபரான ஒரு பக்தர் ஆகணும், நிதானமான உள்ள பக்தர். நிதானத்தை இழந்தோம்னா வாழ்க்கையே தடுமாறிடும், பௌதிக வாழ்க்கையை தடுமாறிடும், ஆன்மீக வாழ்க்கையை சொல்ல தேவை. So we have to be very sober. Once you're sober, you can do 3 different offering: feelingly, humbly, and perfectly. Then you start to think, who am I? ஏன்னா நிதானமா இருக்கும்போது தான் நம்ம இது விஷயம், like say like a doctor lah, maybe Dr. Vaishnava Kripa can say that. See, a doctor cannot operate their own family members. If the own son or daughter, whoever, wife or wife sick, the doctor don't do that. They call another doctor. Why? அந்த நேரத்துல அந்த பதற்றத்துல நிதானத்தை இழந்துருவோம். Right? நிதானத்தை இழந்துட்டா we can make mistake. And secondly, a doctor, when they do surgery, especially heart surgery or brain surgery, they have to be very sober. Even a pilot who flies the plane has to be very sober. The plane shaking, looks like going to crash, he cannot go panic. He must be very sober so he can make the right decision, what to do to save the plane and the life. So once we become to that level of dhira, sober, that means we came to the level of come in the stage of perfect liberation. இதுதான் மோக்ஷா. இது என்ன மோக்ஷா? உடலை விட்டுட்டு சொர்க்கத்துக்கு போறது, அது மோக்ஷா. We are not interested. இந்த உடலை விட்டுட்டு இந்த கன்றாவேன வாழ்க்கையை விட்டுட்டு சொர்க்கத்துல போய் ஆட்டம் போடுறது, அது ஒரு மோக்ஷா. ஆனா இந்த மோக்ஷா, what moksha is this we are talking about? Perfect liberation means one has already given up all their material sense perception. First, I understand I'm not this body. how well do you understand? The understanding, I'm not his body. I am not looking, I'm not going to check on other people's birth or caste. இவன் இந்த ஜாதியில பிறந்தவன், மேல் ஜாதி, கீழ் ஜாதி, தாழ்த்தப்பட்ட ஜாதி, இல்ல நான் இந்த குலத்துல பிறந்திருக்கேன், நான் இப்படி இருக்கேன், I'm born into this family. ஸோ இது வந்து எல்லாத்துலயும் அப்பால் பட்டது, எதுவுமே இருக்கக்கூடாது. ரைட்? அதுல உச்சங்கட்டம் என்னது? யார் என்னை காரி துப்புனாலும் சரி, யார் என்ன பேசினாலும் சரி, I'm not bothered because you are targeting my body, not me. So அந்த மாதிரி லெவல்ல you come to the dira. Right? Then secondly, you must always think that everything around you isha vasha idam sarvam. That kena that kita forgot the verse. That kena okay, English lena Sanskrit memory. Everything belongs to Krishna. Isha vasha idam sarvam. That kena kintu not coming. So everything that you take is according to your quota. நம்மளுக்கு அளவுக்கு எது நம்மளுக்கு கொடுக்கப்பட்டிருக்கோ, நம்மள ஒதுக்கி கொடுக்கப்பட்டிருக்கோ கோட்டால, we accept things according to our quota. We don't accept anything more than that. We understand to whom they belong to. எனக்கு எவ்வளவு தேவை அவளையோட வாழ்ந்துக்கிறது. ரைட்? அப்ப இந்த நிலைக்கு நம்ம எப்போ வரும்? சோபரா இருந்தாதான், நிதானமா இருந்தாதான் இந்த நிலையை நம்ம ஏற்றுக்கொள்ள முடியும். இல்லாட்டினா என் சொந்தத்தை பாரு நல்லா இருக்கானுங்க, என் பந்தத்தை பாரு கோடீஸ்வரனா இருக்கானுங்க, அவன் பிள்ளைய பாரு நல்லா இருக்கு, என் பிள்ளை எப்படி போச்சு, இந்த மாதிரி குழப்படியே வராது. சோபரா இருந்தா அவங்கள நல்லா இருக்காங்க, ஆனா அவங்களோட நான் இன்னும் நல்லா இருக்கேன் அப்படி நம்ம நினைக்கணும். ரைட்? பிகாஸ் லைக் என் லைஃப் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, மை லைஃப், ஐ எம் சரௌண்டட் ஆல் மை ஃபேமிலி மெம்பர்ஸ் aristocrat, all millionaires, multi millionaires, and today they have totally ஒதுக்கி வைக்கிறான் me. They say no, they are not ஒதுக்கி வைக்கிறேன், நான் அவங்க கிட்ட ஒதுங்கிக்கிட்டேன். Because when I see their life, especially when I went for one of my uncle's funeral last year, பார்க்கணுமா டேங்க அப்பா, they even chartered half of the plane for all the devotees from Madurai to come to Ipoh for the funeral. பயங்கரம். அதெல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது என்னாச்சு, எனக்கு அந்த திறமை இருக்கு, எனக்கு அந்த தகுதி இருக்கு, திறமை இருக்கு, படிப்பு இருக்கு, கல்வி இருக்கு, ஞானம் இருக்கு, நான் செய்யலாமே. I can earn so much money if I want to. Right? But why am I not doing it? அப்ப என்ன அர்த்தம்? அப்ப இதுல என்னன்னா, இப்ப வந்து நம்ம we stop comparing. Right? Sometimes when my அந்த சைட்ல எல்லாம் ஃபேமிலி மெம்பர்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஒண்ணா கேதர் பண்ணும்போது பார்க்கணுமே, எல்லாம் நகை நட்டோட அப்படியே ஜொலிக்குங்க. ரைட்? பட் சீயிங் மை சில்ட்ரன் who are like normally சும்மா சாதாரணமா இருக்கும், ஐ see sometimes my wife will start to grumble. பொம்பளை பிள்ளைங்க 3 பொம்பளை பிள்ளைங்க வச்சு நகை சேர்க்கலையே, நகை நட்டு இன்னும் சேர்க்காம இருக்கும், கல்யாண காட்சி வந்துச்சுன்னா நகை போடணும், ஆளுக்கு 20 பவுன் 30 பவுன் செய்யணும். அது என்ன, come on look here, we just depend on ஜெகநாத். பகவான் இருக்காரு நம்மளை பார்த்துக்க, நம்ம எதுக்கு அலட்டிக்கிட்டு கண்டதெல்லாம் யோசிக்கணும்? சோ அவங்களுக்கு இருக்கிறது பணம் மட்டும்தான். அவங்களுக்கு இருக்கிறது என்ன? பணம் மட்டும்தான். பணம், சௌபாக்கியம், பல ஐஸ்வர்யங்கள் அதான் இருக்கு. ஆனா நம்மளுக்கு அதோட மேல இருக்கு. நம்மளுக்கு இருக்கிறது என்னது? நிம்மதி. We got நிம்மதி. So we do not need to compare ourselves. Comparing ourselves is the biggest disaster that we can make. Children can get agitated. Children can get agitated. But so far, I think I'm quite lucky. My children doesn't get carried away with their friends' opulence. Like my son is studying in international school. All the friends were so rich. And I கேட்டேன், ஏன்டா இப்படி உடுத்திட்டு போற, கொஞ்சம் அழகா போ. அப்பனா வந்து அவன் மாதிரி 600 வெள்ளிக்கு சட்டை வாங்கி போடுவாப்பான்னு கேட்கறான். என்னது? அந்த ஃப்ரெண்டோட சட்டை, the shirt alone 600 ringgit. Right? So he's telling why I'm dressing like this. Just to cover myself. And the most important is, I am okay. Sometimes I say, hey, how about your friends? Oh, they're so materialistic. போனா latest PS5 and the PlayStation என்னது, இங்க போனா அது இருக்கு, அங்க போ, இங்க போ. Until he doesn't want to follow them. இந்த மாதிரி போனா bowling விளையாடலாம், இது பிராண்டட் கூட்ட பாரு, இந்த பெர்ஃப்யூமை பார்த்து எவ்வளவு விலை, 1000 வெள்ளி பெர்ஃப்யூம். ஓ, இது they are talking, they are all very rich children. Right? அதே மாதிரி my daughters also. அங்க போனா அவங்க நகை நட்டே பாரு, இதை பாரு, அதை பாரு, இவ்வளவு உடுத்துறாங்க. They are just not care. And I'm not sure because they are young or maybe they are too young to not to think like that. But whatever it is, let me tell you, never ever compare ourselves with karmi. They can be our own family members. கூட பிறந்தவங்களா கூட இருக்கலாம், பணக்காரனா இருக்கலாம், லட்சாதிபதியா இருக்கலாம், நகை நட்டோட இருக்கலாம், நல்ல ஒரு பெஸ்ட் எஜுகேஷனா இருக்கலாம், நல்ல ஒரு பெஸ்ட் வேலையில இருக்கலாம், நல்லா கல்யாணம் பண்ணி சந்தோஷமா இருக்கலாம், anything. But always remember they are karmis. So we don't compare ourselves. when we start to compare ourselves, we get agitated. அந்த அஜிடேஷன் என்ன ஆகும்? நம்ம நிதானத்தை இழந்துரும். நிதானம் இழந்தா என்ன ஆகும்? குழப்படி உருவாகும். என்ன குழப்படி உருவாகும்? நான் செய்யறதெல்லாம் கரெக்டா செய்யறேனா? Did I make the right decision or not? Am I in the right path or not? போச்சு. பல ஆயிரம் கோடி கந்தாண்ட ஒரு பிறவி கிடைச்சிருக்கு. பல ஆயிரம் அந்த மனித பிறவியை எடுத்து இன்னைக்கு ஒரு வாய்ப்பு கிடைச்சிருக்கு. ஒரு மனிதனா பிறந்திருக்கும், ஒரு இந்தியனா பிறந்திருக்கலாம். இந்த பல ஆயிரம் இந்தியனா பிறவி எடுத்திருக்கோம். இதுக்கு முன்னாடி எடுத்திருக்கோம். இன்னைக்கு நம்மளுக்கு கிருஷ்ணான்னு என்னன்னு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கு. பல ஆயிரம் கோடி நம்ம கிருஷ்ணன் என்ன தெரிஞ்சிருக்கு. எஸ் ஃபைனா. ஆனா பல ஆயிரம் கோடி கிருஷ்ணரை தெரிஞ்சு இன்னைக்கு நம்மளுக்கு வந்து ஒரு உண்மையான குரு யாருன்னு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கு. சரி, எல்லா இடத்துலயும் உண்மையான குரு இருக்காங்க தான். ஃபைனா. ஸ்ரீ வைஷ்ணவலே குரு இருக்காரு. ருத்ர சம்பிரதாயத்தை குரு இருக்காங்க. அது இன்னொன்னு என்ன, குமர சம்பிரதாயத்தை குரு இருக்காங்க. இதுல என்ன பெருசா தெரிஞ்சுட்டேன்? இது பல ஆயிரம் பிறவி நல்ல குரு ஒன்று தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும். ஆனா பல ஆயிரம் கோடிக்கு பிறவிக்கு அந்தாண்ட நான் பிரம்ம மதுவ கௌடிய வைஷ்ணவ பரம்பரையில நான் தீட்சை வாங்கி அதுல நான் பரம்பரையில இருக்கேன். இது ஒரு அபூர்வம். இது ஒரு அபூர்வம். It is very rare opportunity. Why? Here we are talking about Manjari Rupa, Manjari feeling. We don't want to go to Krishna. We don't want to that Tirupati. We want to go to other land. We don't even desire to go to Vishnu Loka, Vaikuntha Loka, Ayodhya. All that we don't want. We don't even want to go to Dwaraka. வீன்னு சொல்றது என்ன அர்த்தம்னா இந்த வேதத்துல சொன்னது. I'm saying we. So வீனா நம்மளும் சொல்ல, நான் சொல்றேன் இந்த வேதத்துல சொல்றது என்ன? We don't even want to go to Vaikuntha. My dear Lord, please don't take me to Vaikuntha. And வைகுந்தத்துக்கு போறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு கிடைச்சா இந்த பூலோகத்திலே இருந்து திருப்பி என் பக்தியை கண்டினியூ பண்றேன். How about Dwaraka? I'm not interested. I don't want to see Krishna as king. I cannot. How about Mathura? I see Krishna as a baby. Okay, that one is considerable. But that also I don't want. அப்புறம் உனக்கு என்னதாயா வேணும்? I want to go to Vrindavan. I want to experience Rasalila. I want to experience Parakyaras. I want to experience the Krishna's emotion. I want to be in Navadvip. I want to see how Lord Chaitanya melt just by listening the pastimes of the Lord. அது எனக்கு வேணும். அதுதான் என் லட்சியமே. அதான் என் கோரிக்கை. அடுத்தவன் பணக்காரனா இருக்கான், அடுத்தவன் கோடீஸ்வரனா இருக்கான், அடுத்தவன் இங்க நகை நட்டு போட்டு போறான், அதை பத்தி எனக்கு கவலையே இல்லை. அவனை பார்த்து நம்ம என்ன செய்யணும்? பாவம் தான் படணும். தற்காலிகமான ஜாமான் வச்சுட்டு இவ்வளவு அனுபவிச்சுட்டு போறீங்க. Sometimes I used to tell, jokingly I used to tell, if you want to rob, நீ வந்து ஒரு இடத்துல வந்து திருட்டு ராப் பண்ணணும்னா, அதாவது ராப்னா என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க தமிழ்ல? understand what I'm talking about? ராப். ஒரு இடத்துல வந்து திருடணும்னா எந்த இடத்துல திருடணும்? பேங்க்ல போய் கொள்ளை அடிக்கிறோம்னா பேங்க்ல போய் கொள்ளை அடிக்காத. ஒரு செட்டியார் வீட்டு கல்யாணம் நடந்துச்சா, முன்னுக்கு பின்னாடி டோவை மூடிட்டு உள்ளுக்கு கண்ணை தூக்கிட்டு எல்லா நகையும் கழட்ட சொல்லு. அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒரு 300, 400, 500 பவுண்ட் நகை கிடைக்கும். என் சொந்த பந்தங்கள்லாம் வந்துச்சிங்கன்னா என்ன லேட்டஸ்ட் டிசைன், கழுத்துல இருந்து மார்பு மட்டும் ஃபுல்லா நகை, இங்க ஃபுல்லா நகை, பல வகையான கோல்டன் வைடூரியங்கள், வைரங்கள், ஃபுல்லா அவ்வளோ நகை. அதான் சம்டைம்ஸ் ஒன்ஸ் when I told my wife, கொள்ளை அடிக்கிறது வெரி சிம்பிள். பேங்க்ல போய் கொள்ளை அடிச்சு வேஸ்ட் பண்றாங்க. ஒரு செட்டி பைய கல்யாணத்துல முன்னுக்கு க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடணும், பின்னாடி க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடணும், நடுவில் போய் கண்ணை ஷூட் பண்ணணும். டேய், எல்லா நகையை கழட்டி இந்த மூட்டையில போடு, ஒரு மூட்டை நகை கிடைக்கும். அப்ப என்ன சொல்ல வரேன்னா, இவங்களுக்குலாம் இதான் அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு கௌரவம், ஒரு சந்தோஷம். ரைட்? கஜானால பணம் லட்சக்கணக்கு கோடி கணக்குல இருக்கும். அன்டில் மை மாமா, தாய் மாமன், என்னோட அம்மாவோட அண்ணன் என்ன செஞ்சாங்க? நான் சொன்னேன், மாமா ஊருக்கு போகும்போது, மதுரைக்கு போகும்போது சொன்னாங்க, ஏன்பா இது தெரியுது அந்த பில்டிங், இது நம்மளோட. போயிட்டு இருக்கோம், அந்த பில்டிங் தெரியுதா, அது நம்மளோட. இது தெரியுதா, என்ன மாமா தெருவுக்கு பில்டிங் இருக்கு? ஆமா, ஊருப்பட்ட பில்டிங் அது இருக்குது. என்னோட வாடகை வருமானமே கோடி லட்சக்கணக்கில் வருமா வாடகை வருமானம். ஜஸ்ட் ரெண்டல் இன்கம் few 100,000 rupees, லட்சக்கணக்கில் வரும்பா. அப்புறம் எதுக்கு இன்னும் உழைக்கிறீங்க? என்ன இல்ல, பிள்ளைக்கு சேர்த்துட்டேன், பிள்ளைக்கு லட்சக்கணக்கில் பணம் சேர்த்துட்டேன், கோடி கணக்கில் சொத்துல கோடி கணக்கில் இருக்கு, சேர்த்துட்டேன். இப்ப என் பேரனை குறைக்கிறேன். வாட் நான்சென்ஸ் யூ ஆர் டாக்கிங்? ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட காலம் வந்து ஆசையை விடும்ல. பேரண்ட் இப்ப கேட்டா பேரனுக்கு சேர்க்கிறேன். Now he's working so hard and eventually he died. பேரன் எங்க இருக்காரு? மகனுங்க எங்க இருக்காங்க? Of course they miss him, but how long they can go on missing if they will forget him? இவர் எங்க இருக்காரு, என்ன திசையில இருக்காரு, கடவுள் தான் தெரியும் எங்க போயிட்டாரு. அதனால நம்ம அடுத்தவங்களோட இருக்கிற அந்த 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 அற்புதத்தை, ஐஸ்வர்யத்தை பார்த்து நம்ம வந்து பார்த்து ஆச்சரியப்படுறதோ, அதிசயப்படுறதோ, பொறாமைப்படுறதோ, வேதனைப்படுறதோ தேவையில்லை. ஏன்னா நம்ம அவங்களோட ஒரு அப்பாற்பட்ட நிலையில நிக்கிறோம். அவங்கள பார்த்து நம்ம என்ன நினைக்கணும்? பாவம் தான் படணும். இன்னும் சொத்து மேலயும், காசு மேலயும், நகை நட்டு மேலயும் ஆசைப்பட்டுட்டு இருக்கீங்க. நீ எங்க போய் உனக்கு எத்தனை பிரிவு உனக்கு எடுக்க போற? மேபி உங்க கூட சொந்த பந்தமா இருக்கிறவசி மேபி they give you some donation ல. செய்யுங்க. But the process how long? When they going to come to the level of prema bhakti? இப்போ நம்மளுக்கு புரியுது. இந்த பிரேம பக்தி சாதகா நிலையில இருந்து பிரேம பக்தி போறதுக்கே பல பிறவி எடுக்கும். ஒரு அட்லீஸ்ட் 9-10 பிறவி எடுக்கணும். அந்த பிறவி எடுக்கணும். எப்படி உதாரணம்? ஓகே, இப்போ வந்து நம்மளுக்கு 3 வகையான பக்தர்கள் இருக்காங்க. என்னது? கனிஷ்டா, மத்தியமா, உத்தமா. உத்தம அதிகாரி போனதான் நீங்க கோலோகாக்கு போக முடியும். இதே 3 தசை. அப்ப அந்த கனிஷ்ட அதிகாரியில 3 வகை. கனிஷ்டா, கனிஷ்ட அதிகாரியில மத்தியமா, கனிஷ்ட அதிகாரியில உத்தமா. கனிஷ்டா லெவல்லே இருக்காங்க. அப்புறம் இங்கோட்டு மத்தியமா. மத்தியமால கூட மத்தியமா கனிஷ்டா, மத்தியமா மத்தியமா உத்தமா. அப்புறம் நம்ம உத்தம அதிகாரி ஆயிட்டோம்னு வச்சுங்க. அதுலயே 3 இருக்கு. உத்தமத்திலே கனிஷ்டா இருக்கு, உத்தமத்திலே உத்தமன் இருக்கு, மத்தியமா இருக்கு, உத்தமத்திலே உத்தமா இருக்கு. அப்ப இந்த ஒரு பிரிவு இடத்துல 9 வகை. ஆனா இந்த ஒரு பிரிவில நம்ம யோசிச்சு பார்த்தோம்னா நம்ம எந்த நிலையில நிக்கிறோம்? Have we evolved from Kanishta to Kanishta Madhyama? We have to think. ஐயோ, ஒரு பிரிவு எடுக்கிறது. அப்ப ஒரு பிரிவில 3 பிரிவு எடுத்தோம்னா மொத்தத்துல நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா 27 birth we have to take some or other. Then we become a pure devotee. But some or other today we are studying all these books. That means we are some or other selected by Krishna. Some or other we are considered very fortunate. So we do not need to compare ourselves. என் பிள்ளைங்களை படிக்க வச்சிருந்தா நல்லா வந்திருக்கும், என் பிள்ளைங்களை எப்படி வளர்த்திருந்தா நல்லா வந்திருக்கும், அப்படி செஞ்சிருந்தா அவனை பாரு நல்லா இருக்கான், இவனை பாரு நல்லா இருக்கான். ஈவன் பீப்புள், மை ஃபேமிலி மெம்பர்ஸ் யூஸ் டு கிரிட்டிசைஸ் மீ. என்ன பிள்ளைய வளர்க்குற? ஒரு நகை நட்டு கூட போடாம, ஒரு நகை நட்டு மேல ஆசை இல்லாம சாதாரணமா வளர்த்துக்கிட்டேன். they don't have the desire. What can I do? But what I'm saying, I am considered very fortunate. It's not I am in denial. ஏன்னா தமிழ் ஒரு பழமொழி இருக்குல்ல, ஆட தெரியாதவன் அம்பலம் கோணல். ஆட தெரியாதவனுக்கு அந்த ஸ்டேஜ் கோணலா இருக்குன்னு சொல்ற மாதிரி. அதாவது எனக்கு சம்பாதிக்க தகுதி இல்லாதப்ப இப்படி சொல்லி மனசாத்திக்கிறேன். பரவாயில்ல, என் பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு இதெல்லாம் ஆசை இல்லை, ஏன்னா சம்பாதிக்க முடியும். ஆனா சம்பாதிக்க முடியும் என்னால. You know, I have the capacity and earn so much of money. But why I'm doing this? Because I am feeling, I mean, with due respect, I'm not boasting. இப்ப நான் என்ன செஞ்சிருக்கேன்னா, எல்லா கடவுள் பார்த்துப்பாரு. ஜெகநாத் will look after me. அப்ப நம்ம அப்படிதான் நினைக்கணும். When we come to the level that we are under the great protection of Krishna, we have no one to compare ourselves. சரியா? ஒரு குருவி வந்து கழுகை பார்த்து கம்பேர் பண்ணுது. Just a small tiny bird is comparing himself with the eagle. Alright? But we understand. நம்ம ஈகலை பறந்துகிட்டு மேல கீழே பார்க்கிறோம். அந்த குருவி மாதிரி வாழ்ந்தா எவ்வளவு நல்லா இருக்கும். சின்ன சின்ன ஓட்டையில போய் புந்துக்கலாம், கிடைக்கிற சின்ன சின்ன புழுவை சாப்பிடலாம். நான் பெரிய கழுகை மேல பறந்துகிட்டு இருக்கேன், எனக்கு ஏதாச்சும் பெருசா தெரிஞ்சாதான் நான் சாப்பிட முடியும். நான் இவ்வளவு மேல பறந்துகிட்டு அப்படியே பறந்துகிட்டே இருக்கிறதா இருக்கு, கை கால்லாம் வலிக்குது. இந்த சிட்டுக்குருவினா இங்க இருந்து பறந்து அங்க போய் ரேஸ் பண்ணிக்காங்க. That means stupidity, foolishness, முட்டாள்தனம். ஒரு கழுகை இருந்துகிட்டு ஒரு சிட்டுக்குருவியை பார்த்து நம்ம கம்பேர் பண்ணோம்னா இது மூடதனம், absolute foolishness. அதனாலதான் don't compare yourself. ஏன் இந்த டாபிக் வந்து பேசுறேன்? ஏன்னா இதுதான் நம்மளோட நிதானத்தை கெடுக்குது. சரியா? அதனாலதான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம், இதுக்கு முன்னாடி நம்ம படிச்ச பக்தி லோகத்துல don't ever associate with non-devotees. நம்ம அந்த பக்தர் இல்லாத நம்ம சொந்தமா இருக்கட்டும், கூட பிறந்தவங்களா இருக்கட்டும், our own brother, our own sister-ஆ இருக்கட்டும், don't associate. போனோமா, மறுபடி பார்த்தோமா, செஞ்சோமா, போட்டோமா, வந்துடணும். உட்காந்துக்கிட்டு அவங்க கூட கூத்தடிச்சுக்கிட்டு எல்லாம் செஞ்சோம்னா அவங்க நம்மள கேள்வி கேட்கும் போது, இப்படிலாம் இருக்கிய முடியுமா? உன் பிள்ளைங்களா சின்ன சின்ன பிள்ளைங்களா இருக்கு, அதுங்களா படிக்க வைக்க வேணாமா? அதுங்க பெரிய படிப்பு போனிச்சுன்னா என்ன செய்ய போறேன்? இதுன்னா என்ன ஆக போகுது? எங்க மாமியார் சொன்னாங்க, மொட்டை வெயில உன் பிள்ளைங்களை வந்து ரோடா போய் பாட வைக்கிறேன். மை ஓன் மதர் இன் லா ஸ்டடி கீர்த்தன் சங்கீர்த்தன் போதுங்க, மொட்டை வெயில்ல சும்மா போவேன்னா நேரா என் மாமியார் வீட்டுக்குள்ள போட்டுருச்சு. என் மாமியாருக்கு சரியான ஆத்திரம். என்ன இப்படிலாம் வளர்க்குறான், மொட்டை வெயில்ல போய் செய்துங்க. இதாவது கூப்பிட்டு சொன்னாங்க, இது தேவையாமா உனக்கு? அங்க போய் மொட்டை வெயில பாடி, கடவுள் ரோட்லயா இருக்காரு, கடவுள் மனசுல தானே ஷீ ஸ்டார்ட் டாக்கிங். அண்ட் மை பிரதர் நல்லா பேச ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாங்க. அப்ப I told my children, so what are you going to do? Say, I only go to Mama house once in a while. சும்மா போவேடா. ஏம்மா ஆனா மைண்ட் கெடுத்துறாங்கப்பா. இதை பண்ணு, அதை பண்ணு, அங்க பாரு, இவன் பணக்காரனா இருக்க, மெர்சிடிஸ் பென்ஸை வாங்க, அதை வாங்கணும், சம்திங் லைக் தட். ஸோ இட்ஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஓகே, இதுதான் வந்து மொத ஸ்டெப். நம்ம வந்து தீராவா ஆவறது, நிதானமா ஆவறதுக்கு இதான் இது. நம்ம வந்து நம்ம செல்ஃபை யார்கிட்டயும் கம்பேர் பண்ணக்கூடாது. நீங்க வந்து பகவானோட ஆசீர்வாதத்துல வாழ்றீங்க. நீங்க வந்து தேவர்களோட அப்பால், இருக்கிற ஜீவராசியோட அப்பால், இந்த பிரபஞ்சத்தோட அப்பால். இப்ப முதல்ல நம்ம பார்த்த மாதிரி என்ன செய்யறோம், நம்மளுக்கு வந்து நம்ம தீர்மானிக்கிறது மாயாதேவி இல்ல, யோக மாயா. கிருஷ்ணாவே நம்மள வந்து செக் பண்றாங்க, செக் அண்ட் பேலன்ஸ், ரைட்? சோ அதனால வந்து we stop comparing, alright? Even in our material life also, when we start to compare, finish. ஏன் உன் அப்பா நல்லா இருக்காங்க, என் அப்பா மட்டும் இப்படி இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னு சொன்னா அந்த பிள்ளையோட மனசே தளரிடும். அதனாலதான் சில பேர் சொல்லுவாங்க, அனாதை வீட்டுல அனாதை ஆசிரமம் எல்லாம் போயிட்டு அங்க கேக்கை வெட்டிக்கிட்டு கொண்டாடக்கூடாது. அந்த பிள்ளைங்க நம்ம நினைக்கிறோம் பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு நல்லது செய்யணும், ஆனா பிள்ளைங்க இன்னும் மனசு தளரிடும். இங்க எனக்கு அப்பா அம்மா இருந்துச்சுன்னா இப்படிதானே எனக்கும் கொண்டாடுவாங்க, மனசு தளர விட்டுறக்கூடாது. அதனாலதான் இந்த அனாதை ஆசிரமத்துல போய் கேக்கை வெட்டிக்கிட்டு சந்தோஷமா அவங்க அப்பா அம்மா பாத்துக்கிட்டு இந்த பிள்ளைங்க பார்க்க ஏங்க ஆரம்பிச்சோம். சோ அதனால ஃபர்ஸ்ட் திங், டோன்ட் கம்பேர். அப்ப அந்த கம்பேர் பண்ணாம இருக்கும்போது நம்ம நிதானம் இருக்கும். நிதானம் இருக்கும்போது அப்ப என்ன, நிதானமா இருக்கும், அப்பதான் நம்ம யோசிப்போம், அடாடாடாடா 64 84 லட்சம் பிறவி, ஒரு பிறவி, ஒரு ஒரு ரவுண்ட். இதே மாதிரி கோடி கணக்குல நம்ம எடுத்திருக்கோம், 84 லட்சம் பிறவி எடுத்திருக்கோம். பல ஆயிரம் கோடி மனுஷனா பிறந்திருக்கோம், பன்னியா பிறந்திருக்கோம், நாயா பிறந்திருக்கோம், பேயா பிறந்திருக்கோம், என்னென்ன பிறவிகளை பிறந்திருக்கோம். பல வகை வகையா நம்ம கொல்லப்பட்டிருக்கானுங்க. நம்மள உயிரோட புடிச்சு தின்றுருக்கானுங்க, நம்ம கழுத்து அறுத்து சாப்பிட்டுருக்கானுங்க. நம்ம ரோட்ல அடிச்சு கடந்திருக்கோம். கன்றாவி ஆகோரமான மரணம், என்ன வகையான மரணம் நம்ம கண்ணுல கேட்கிறோம், கண்ணுல பாக்குறோம், காதுல கேட்கிறோம், என்னது இந்த லெட்டர், நியூஸ் பேப்பர்ல படிக்கிறோம். இவ்வளோ கன்றாவி எப்படி சுத்து போயிட்டானுங்க. இப்படி இடையில ஒரு பிள்ளை மிளைகல புலி பாத்தீங்களா, அடிச்சு மண்டை உடச்சு விட்டானுங்க. மண்டைய பொழந்திருக்கு, அப்படி புலி பண்ணிருக்கானுங்க. அவ்வளவு வெறி பிடிச்சவனுங்க. இந்த பிள்ளை மண்டையை உடைச்சி அந்த மண்டை பொழந்திருக்கு, அந்த பொழந்து திறந்து பார்த்திருக்காங்க, உழுக்கு மூளை எப்படி இருக்கு, அவ்வளவு கன்றாவே அந்த பிள்ளையை கொண்டிருக்காங்க. அப்ப இந்த மாதிரி மரணம் எல்லாம் நம்ம தாண்டி வந்துட்டோம். சரி, இப்ப என்ன, இவ்வளோ பிரிவி எடுத்து நம்ம என்ன புண்ணியம் செஞ்சோன்னு தெரியல, யாரு ஆசீர்வாதம் தெரியல. நம்ம இன்னைக்கு உட்கார்ந்து பாகவதத்தை பார்க்கிறோம், ஹரிநாமத்தை ஜபம் பண்றோம், குரு நம்மளுக்கு இருக்கு, குரு கிட்ட தீட்சை வாங்கிட்டோம். இது எவ்வளோ பெரிய வரப்பிரசாதம். நம்ம தான் இப்ப நம்ம என்ன நினைக்கிறோம், நான் தான் இந்த பிரபஞ்சத்திலே, இந்த உலகத்துல இல்ல, இந்த பிரபஞ்சத்திலே, இந்த கிரியேஷன், இந்த பிரபஞ்சத்திலே நான் தான் ரொம்ப 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 பாக்கியசாலி, நான் தான் பாக்கியவான். அப்படி மனசுல மட்டும் நினைச்சீங்க, வெளியே காமிச்சிக்க வேணாம். வெளியே காமிச்சீங்கன்னா ஈகோ ஆயிருவீங்க. யூ ஃபாலன் சோல், யூ தாழ்ந்தவன், தாக்கப்பட்டவன், விழுந்தவன், அதெல்லாம் தேவையில்ல. நம்ம மனசுல நம்ம ஐ எம் வெரி 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 லக்கி பர்சன். பாக்கியவன்றாங்களே, நான் தான் அந்த பாக்கியசாலி, நான் மகா பாக்கியசாலி. எனக்கு பகவான்னா யாருன்னு தெரியுது, பகவானோட லீலை என்னன்னு தெரியுது, அந்த லீலையை கத்துக் கொடுக்கறதுக்கு எனக்கு ஒரு குரு இருக்காரு, அதை எந்த மூவ்மெண்ட்ல நம்ம இருக்கோம், நான் ஒரு மகா பாக்கியசாலி. அப்படி நம்ம நினைச்சோம். அப்ப நினைச்சோம்னா நம்ம ரொம்ப சோபர் ஆயிடுவோம். நம்மளுக்கு நடக்கிற வெளிய பிரச்சனை நம்ம தாக்காது. அவன் இதை சொல்லிட்டான், இவன் அதை சொல்லிட்டான், அந்த பந்தத்துல இவ்வளவு நல்லா இருக்கு, இந்த சொந்தம் நல்லா பணக்காரனா இருக்கு, இதை பத்திலாம் நம்மளுக்கு கவலையே இல்லை. இந்த நேரத்துல தான் நம்ம வந்து நிதானமா இருக்கும். அந்த நிலைக்கு நம்ம வந்தோம்னா இதுலதான் perfect liberation. You understand? This is what they call perfect liberation. You are perfectly liberated because you start to understand you are an extraordinary person. Right? அப்ப அந்த perfect liberation நம்ம தெரிஞ்சு வந்துட்டோம்னா, அந்த மோட்சம் அடைஞ்சிட்டோமா, அப்போதான் நம்மளுக்கு புரியும் என்னோட செயல் யாரு, ஆக்சுவலி நான் யாரு. நான் வந்து கிருஷ்ணரோட தகப்பன், நர்ஸா, பேரண்டலா, இல்ல நான் ஒரு கோபால், கிருஷ்ணா கூட ஓடி ஆடி ஆடுறவனா, இல்ல கிருஷ்ணன் இல்ல நான் வந்து ஒன் ஆஃப் தி கிருஷ்ணாஸ் கேர்ள் ஃப்ரெண்ட், நான் ஒரு கோபியா, கிருஷ்ணா வந்து புலங்குழல ஊண்டக்க நான் ஓடி போய் அவரை போய் கட்டி பிடிக்கிறேன், அதான். இல்ல நான் வந்து அவரோட சேவகனா, அவருக்கு நான் சேவை செய்யறவனா, இல்ல நான் வந்து மஞ்சரியோட டாசானு டாஸ், சக்கியோட மஞ்சரியோட சேவகனுக்கு சேவகனா, இல்ல கிருஷ்ணா லீலைக்கு வந்து என்னைய வந்து 10 இடத்துல கோபியர் அனுப்புவாங்க, போய் பூ பறிச்சுட்டு வாங்கன்னு, நான் அதுல ஒருத்தனா, நான் அதுல போய் பூ பறிக்கிறவனா, யாருன்னா, யாரு? அந்த நிலைய நம்ம நிதானமா இருக்கும்போது தான் புரியும். அதான் பெர்ஃபெக்ட் ஸ்டேஜ். இந்த நேரத்துல which is technically called Swarupa Siddhi. Swarupa Siddhi. Swarupa என்னது? Our original position. Siddhina தெரிஞ்சிக்கிறது. Perfectly knowing. Swarupa. Right? My original form. நான் யார் actually? நான் இந்த உடல் இல்லை. நான் நினைக்கிறேன் நான் இங்க மேனா இருக்கேன், ஆம்பளையா இருக்கேன். நான் வந்து மேபி உங்களுக்கு வந்து நான் ஒரு பெண்ணா இருக்கலாம். நான் பெண்ணா ஆனா தெரியாது. அப்ப அந்த நேரத்துல நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஆனா போலிதனமா தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு நம்மளா கோபின்னு சொல்லிட்டு சில பேர் ஆடுவாங்க. அது சஹஜ்யா. அது உருண்டவள பார்க்கலாம். ஆம்பளைங்களா வந்து என்னது சேலை கட்டிட்டு டான்ஸ் ஆடுவாங்க. கேட்டா நம்மள கோபிஸ். கேன் யூ இமேஜின் ஆம்பளைங்க எல்லாம் மீசை வச்சுக்கிட்டு சேலையை கட்டிட்டு ஆடுவாங்க. நம்மள பார்க்க இவனா இவன் அவனா? அதெல்லாம் போலிதனம். இதெல்லாம் சொந்தமா நம்ம அறியறது. இந்த அறியறது எப்பன்னா நிதானமா இருக்கிறது, தெளிவா இருக்கும்போது நம்மளுக்கு தெரியும் என்ன நடக்குது. தெளிவா இருக்கும்போது தான் தெரியும் நம்மளுக்கு உடம்புல என்ன கோளாறுன்னு. தெளிவா இருக்கும்போது நீங்க ஐய முடி நரைச்சிருக்கு, இவ்வளவு நாள் உங்க முகத்தை பாக்குறீங்க தெரியாது. ஆனா ஒரு தடவை எதுவுமே பிரச்சனை இல்லாம தெளிவா இருக்கும், ஆமா முடி நரைச்சிருக்கு, இது எனக்கு கோடு விழுந்துருச்சு, என்ன ஆச்சு? அப்போதான் நம்மளுக்கு தெளிவா இருக்கிறதா தெளிவா தெரியும், எல்லாமே தெளிவா தெரியும். அப்ப இது மாதிரி. சோ அப்ப ப்ரூஃப் என்ன சொல்ற? when the living entity understands, எப்ப அந்த ஜீவராசிக்கு இது புரியுதோ, எப்படி புரியும்? வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். by perfect spiritual advancement and revelation. எப்ப வந்து perfectly spiritual and perfectly you advance yourself spiritually, அந்த நேரத்துல revelation நம்மளுக்கு தெரியுது, புரியுது. the perfect by perfect spiritual advancement and revelation, okay, of his original relationship with the Lord. இதுதான் இது ஒரு முக்கியமானது. சப்மிஷன். சப்மிஷன் என்னது? நிதானமா இருக்கிறது. நிதானமா இருந்தாதான் சோபர், தீரா. நிதானமா இருந்தாதான் அந்த விஷயங்கள் நம்மளுக்கு புரியும், அந்த விஷயத்தை நம்ம அறிய முடியும், அந்த விஷயத்தை தெரிஞ்சு கொள்ள முடியும், அந்த விஷயத்தை உணர முடியும். பதற்றமா இருந்தீங்க, எதுவுமே கண்ணுக்கு தெரியாது. சரித்த பதற்றம் படப்படப்படம் பதற்றமா இருக்கும்போது என்ன ஆகும்? மின்னுக்கு தண்ணி ஊத்தி அது கூட வலிக்கு விழுந்து தலைகளை உள்ள வேண்டியதான். நிதானமா போனா வழுக்கிறதுக்கு இடம் இல்லை. காட்டுல நிதானமா நடந்து போனீங்கன்னா புல்லும் மண்ணும், புல்லுலாம் அந்த கல்லு முள்ளு எல்லாம் காலில் ஏறிடும். நிதானமா பார்த்து போனீங்கன்னா ஒரு அடிப்படாம ரிலாக்ஸ். பதற்றமா காடி ஓட்டினீங்கன்னா எங்கேயாச்சும் போய் முட்டிக்க வேண்டியதான். நிதானமா காடி ஓட்டினீங்கன்னா போற திசையை கவனமா போய் அடையலாம். ஸோ நிதானம் 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 தான் முக்கிய காரணம். அதை அடுத்த சப்மிஷன். அதுல வந்து 3 வகையா இருக்கு நம்ம பார்த்தோம். ஒண்ணு வந்து என்னது? சம்பிரார்த்தனாத்மிகா. ஓகே, நம்ம வந்து மனசால நம்ம வந்து வணங்க முடியும். இறைவா, பகவானே கிருஷ்ணா, யூ கேன் டாக் டு ஹிம் ஹார்ட் டு ஹார்ட். ரெண்டாவது தைனியா போதிகா, ஹம்பிளி சப்மிட்டிங் மை செல்ஃப். பகவானே, நான் வந்து உன்கிட்ட சரணாகதி அடைகிறேன். நாம பிரபு எப்ப என் நாக்குல வரப்போகுது? நிதானமா நம்ம பேசலாம். கடைசியில இது ரெண்டும் நினைச்சுன்னா 3வது அடைய முடியும். லாலச மயி, டிசைரிங் சம் பெர்ஃபெக்ஷனல் ஸ்டேஜ். நான் யாரு? நான் பெர்ஃபெக்ட் டிவோட்டி ஆகணும்னா அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன? என் நித்திய சேவை என்ன? என் இயற்கையான சேவை என்ன? என் நிதானம் என்னோட வந்து இது. அப்ப அதை உங்களால புரிய முடியும். இதெல்லாம் புரிஞ்சிச்சுன்னா வாழ்க்கையில சிறப்பா இருக்கலாம். ரைட்? சரி. So we stop here. 11:20 Krishna. So any questions? Submission.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. When you say the living entity will understand by perfect spiritual advancement and revelation, what does that mean? Perfect spiritual advancement is?
Perfect spiritual advancement means, that means you start to understand your original position. Okay? What is your original position? Say like for instance, okay, just give me a second, Machi. Just get the thing first. Okay, it's in page 81. Page 81, Padma Purana. Okay, page 81. We're going to continue. Okay, all right. You asked a good question. So, okay. Please mark 81. All right. So we are talking about what? The question is how to know our perfect. The question is perfect.
You will understand his original relationship with the Lord by perfect spiritual advancement and revelation.
Right. So the perfect spiritual advancement and revelation means, that means you understand your original position. All right. For instance, Mataji, when you are, example like, you have many characters, right? When you go to work in your Ministry of Agriculture, something like that, you are a different person.
Yes.
Then you go to the university. When you're studying in university, you are a different person.
Yeah.
So in life itself, say when you are in secondary school, you are different. When you go to the university, you are different. When you start to work, you're different, right? Then when you get married, you're different. As a parents, you're different. You know, as so you had different kind of activity and character.
Right.
Okay. The question is, who are you originally? Right? Who are you originally? So that means since time immemorial, we have taken birth in this material world. We have taken so many characteristics. Once I was a fish, then I was a pig, I was this, I was that. Even as in human form, I have taken so many, I got so many belief system in my mind. And I've forgotten who actually I am. What was my original service in Goloka? I'm not sure.
Okay.
So to understand that, it is called the perfection. Lalasa Mai. Okay, you are trying to understand, you try to find out your original position. That means it's mysterious, it's mystery, but you want to find out what is my original person.
Okay.
So we want to find out, are you a parental? Did you serve Krishna as a parent or parental, like Chittappa, Peripal, or like adult in baby pastime? Or maybe are you a Saka? That means like a Gopals that play around, fight with Krishna, like go on, like you see behind me, right? There's all the cow herding. Are you the cows that Krishna loved? Or are you gopis that you had a what they call amorous pastime with Krishna? We don't know. Right? You may not know, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So now the question is, let's find out who are you actually.
Oh, okay.
So we cannot speculate on this. Oh, Gandhi Mataji, I think the way that you talk and everything, I think you're a Gandharva, you always sing bhajan for Krishna. Because you got a sweet voice. Gandhi Mataji, you got a very sweet voice. How if I say, Mataji, actually, நீங்க வந்து கிருஷ்ணாக்கு தாலாட்டு பாடுவீங்க. உங்க சேவை வந்து தாலாட்டு பாடுறது. That can be taken, right? Ariraro, Ariraro, you sing, Krishna will fall asleep. So if I say that, it's a speculation. So who can tell you that you're spiritual master or it is some other reason? So அந்த நிலைக்கு நீங்க வர்றது வந்து என்னன்னா, that's why Lalasamai. That's Lalasamai means your perfectional stage where you can understand your original self. So now we are doing sadhana bhakti, we are doing the Vaidhi sadhana, then Raga Nuga. Then from Raga Nuga, there you go to Bhava, then you go to Prema. When you go to Prema, when the love, absolute love will come, when you start to understand your original self.
Okay.
I say example, like for instance, a child, like okay, say a child in India, often, all the while, he was like, don't know who is he and everything. But later found out the child is actually the son of Ananda Krishnan, our richest man in Malaysia. Right? Ananda Krishnan. So what happened when the child finds out that actually he's the heir to that million, to the company, and he's the son of Ananda Krishnan? How the child will act? Before he comes to Malaysia to inherit the business, the way the child will act is in a different ecstatic mood. Yes or not?
Yeah.
I got no people come and say, hey, don't call me Day. I'm a millionaire's son. I'm a billionaire's son. I'm going to go to Malaysia and inherit the property. Avan nada bavela vera ecstatic feeling irukumle. Ada kadasi nile prema. So once you understand your original position, that's when you can. So to go there, you have to be very sober. When you start to look out for your original self, you have to be very sober. We can't find it. You got
And
it,
it will take a long time.
Of course, until you become sober.
Okay.
The more you're going to get agitated, you can't, because when you are agitated, you cannot identify yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because agitation means what? Mixed thought and feeling happening at the same time. Right? When the water can be agitated, when the sea will agitate, when the wind blows one side, another wind blow this side and hit the sea in both sides, the sea collided and create a big wave. It's agitated. The sea is agitated. You can't do anything. You can't go there and find out what is under the sea. When you see the agitated sea, you stay outside. When the sea become calm, then you go in and swim. And then
Okay.
so meditation we have to be very sober. Sober is the key word.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Oh, we have Puspa Mataji here. Hare Krishna Mataji, welcome. Sarna Lakshmi Mataji, Nandari Mataji, Sadguna, Vivan, Vaishnava Kripa. Any question before we end the session? Any feedback? All okay? If okay, put a thumbs up. I know you are here. All right. Okay. So, all right. Thank you so much for your time. We're going to continue. Tomorrow, I am free. Tomorrow, I don't think so. I have anything. Is it okay? You want to do the class tomorrow, or you are still want to maintain on Wednesday? Okay. Maybe you can put in the group later. All right. So, till then, if you're not, we don't want the class session tomorrow, we can have it on Wednesday as usual at 9:15. Right. Till then, have a nice day, beautiful day, and a very spiritually enlightening day. Chant Hare Krishna, Japa or Kirtan, either of these, both are worth it. Now we understand chanting the holy name, it's very auspicious, but our auspiciousness is not, our goal is not to think about removing all our previous birth sin. Now we want to find out what is our Swarupa Siddhi, right? Lala Samai. What is my Lala Samai? Who am I actually? Let's think about it, but don't get agitated. Relax, calmly, go through the process, and by the grace of Krishna, Harinam Prabhu, you may get that. Find out. Who knows? Nobody knows. Till then, have a nice day. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bevacha patitanam pavinibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Have a beautiful day. Gauranga.